Hey everybody, welcome to the Good Buddies Anime Podcast. I am your good buddy Brandon.
And I am your good buddy Roger.
Let's do it. Owie. He's doing a little dance. Owie, owie.
Owie.
Owie, owie. The worst.
What's going on, everybody? Y'all doing all right? Good Buddies Universe. This is the 25th episode of the podcast.
We in it. We doing
That's
the thing.
That's 25 episodes, dude.
I'm a little sleepy, sorry.
Brandon's over here sleepy, and I'm just excited that we have almost a month's worth of episodes.
Yeah, dude. Sick, nasty.
This is a full season, dude. We have a full season out.
I mean, you count the episode 0 and the bonus episode. I mean, we're nailing it, man. Yeah. We're nailing it real hard. Gonna have one a week for a year at this rate. Except that week we skipped, but also bonus episode and 0. So
yeah, so we
that don't count.
We covered it up. Yep.
But yeah, man. Hey Roger, quick question for you.
What's that, man?
What? What have you been watching, bud?
Dude, I caught up on anime this week. I did watch a little bit.
Nice, dude.
I watched, okay, so I finally got to start the Asobi Asabe. I think that's how you say it.
Asobase.
The first one is Asobie.
Yeah, it's Asobi Asobase.
Asobi Asobase. Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
I did not watch any more of that. Too busy sleeping.
I'm on the 4th or 5th episode. I've made it to where I only watch one episode a night because I'm so certain that I'm going to wake my girlfriend up.
Yeah, it's very funny.
Because I laugh so damn hard at this stupid ass show.
The show's so funny, dude. I still only watched that first episode, but it made me laugh real hard.
Oh my god, dude! Wait till you see the episode where the teacher is in on the club.
So far, the teacher's my favorite part.
Okay, yeah. So they set, well, it's their female teacher, and they set her up a Twitter. Oh my god, dude, it is freaking hilarious. And then there's an episode where they're smelling each other. Hilarious. What? They're having a shoe kicking contest. It's freaking hilarious, dude. I can't wait for you to see some of these because they're so freaking hilarious.
I'll watch. So, at least one tonight.
Shout out to Aaron again for suggesting that. Our good buddy, dude. Evil Laugh, man. That crap
Evil Laugh Gaming,
great.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Oh my god, that show's amazing.
And then, of course, I watched the new MHA, which I guess we won't talk too much about until we do our episode. I watched the new...
Had a pretty nice little moment with your boy in there, though. Him and Kalinari just mad.
It was great, dude.
It's so funny.
It's so good. So we'll get to that now that we're doing the episodes then. And then I watched, of course, Hanibado this week, but I'll save that for you to talk about.
I mean, I'll talk about a little. Nah, go ahead, man. I got other stuff to talk about.
Okay.
I got a little bit to talk about.
Okay, well, I'll go to that last.
Okay.
So I caught up. I was like, you know what? I'm about to do me a few episodes of Dragon Ball Supers because I kind of do them in
yeah, I totally fell off of that.
I still really like the show. I just do it in
chunks.
Sessions. Yeah, chunks. I'll wait for a little bit.
Get a nice D session.
Yeah,
nice Dragon Ball session.
Yeah,
nice D ball.
It was great, dude. I finished up Goku Black Saga.
Nice,
and
dude.
I really liked it. He was a great. Him and his cohort. I won't spoil it for anybody in case you
wanted to say villain, but that.
Well, I mean, he is a villain.
Okay.
But there is a cohort there.
I haven't seen it.
The cohort is reveal, so I wouldn't want to take that away from anybody.
I mean, is it the one who shows up with him when you're playing the Dragon Ball Kai game?
Yeah, fighters.
Okay, so seen that guy.
Yeah.
Person. Right.
It's great though. That whole saga was great. I especially loved the scene, in Classic Z, dude, you got the father-son Kamehameha.
Mm-hmm.
In this one, you got the father-son Gallic Gun, man.
Ooh, that sounds
dope,
sexy.
Dude. It was dope.
Oh, that's so great. Because, yeah, I mean, listen, we all love our Gokus and our Gotens and our Gohans. Fucking Vegeta and Trunks are way cooler. You can't tell me they're not.
Dude. And it wasn't like puny little runt Trunks. It was future Trunks, dude.
Looking all badass. Did he have that sweet jacket on, or was he fighting with jacketless?
I can't remember if he had the jacket on or not. It was probably
jacket on. Jacket off.
They were in the middle of a fight, so I'm gonna.
Are you saying he might have jacket off?
He might have jacked it off, dude. He might have. All right.
Oh god, I'm sorry.
It's okay, dude. It's okay. You know this show's full of dick jokes.
I'm a little low energy right now.
Yeah,
you might have to carry me.
Perk it up, dude.
Let's do it.
Hinamatsuri.
Oh yeah, let's talk about it.
Okay. So I like this show a lot, and I think it's kind of cool because me and Brandon definitely have different opinions on it. Mm-hmm. So like it's good. I would think from a viewer standpoint that if you were curious about this, you have two different viewpoints on it.
Yeah, sure.
And so I'm getting to the point where it's like I like it, but I'm finding myself having to find reasons to like it. And
it's just not hitting you right.
Yeah, the newest episode. So, me and Brandon were talking briefly last week about how it switches between the main character and
between Hinamatsuri and Aragaki.
Yeah, Aragaki,
and not even specifically that, but just like them or characters that surround them.
Yeah, and now I kind of see that flow. Mm-hmm. But this episode, so the last one was a Hinamatsuri episode.
I said it as a joke. I was like, no, the next one's going to be about the other kids who haven't had any chance yet.
Yeah.
And it turns out, yeah.
Yeah, and my problem with it is, like I said it earlier.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah, like we're how many episodes? Do you remember what episode
this
is? Is it 9 or
8 or 9?
8?
I think it's... Shit, it might have been... It wasn't 10, was it?
I don't think
it's
so.
Up there.
At this point, it's up there, and...
Because I think there's only like...
I'm like, why do I care about these two schmucks? I think
there's only like 2 episodes. That might have been 10.
They have had like the sound...
No, that was 10.
The sound of the shuttlecock has had more screen time than these guys had.
Okay, well, sounds don't get screen time, sir.
They've had...
More lines.
Yeah, more lines. There we go.
Oh, Lord. Now you just
I mean,
rude.
it still had its points.
Had some moments, and then had some tension with mom in there.
Yeah,
who just looks crazy as hell. She looks crazy as hell.
Looking forward to now. That's one of the things that I have convinced myself that I want to like, and I want to see. I want to see where that goes because I am so interested. The mother.
Like what you want is for her to just like slap her.
Yeah,
but she won't.
Yeah, and the mom she continues. She continues to be a total douche.
That's the thing. I mean,
she doesn't realize. Like, I don't know if she just doesn't realize that she's being a douche and a horrible mom.
I think it's. I was thinking about it, and I think her character is like just a classic. She feels like a classic narcissist to me. Mm-hmm. That she only like she was the best at this thing. She wants to like find someone else to like train or whatever, be with them to take the mantle or whatever.
Yeah,
but it really
or to further enhance her legacy.
Yeah, but it really felt to me like she comes back and she's just all smile. She's like, "Hey, how's it going? Heard you still playing?" And doesn't even bring up that she bailed or anything. Because to her, I think in her mind, it's like, well, I'm the one living, so she leaves, and she just doesn't even think about how that affects this kid.
Yeah,
is what it feels like. Like that's okay. That's an NPC.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm the main character. Whoop whoop whoop.
For any of you good buddies out there that are tuning in for the first time, Hinamatsuri is a badminton anime. So.
It's really great. I love it.
and it is pretty good. And I'm invested in that storyline. But these other characters, I'm like, man, they have given me no reason to care. Zero freaking reason to care.
Anyway.
It's like the last thing that we covered before MHA.
You got a few clips with them, like with the one girl and the one guy. The other guy got like nothing, admittedly. Hard to argue with that.
The characters from The Legend of the Galactic Heroes, so that was 13 episodes. That's 12 or 13 episodes. Mm-hmm. And the way they do the side characters there, they all matter and feel important. The show does not do that.
Yeah, but that's the thing is like, so when that Shunkampf guy shows up, he has like a whole episode where like you get some backstory on him and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But he wasn't there the whole fucking time. These guys are just like kind of sitting in the back room with their thumbs in their asses, and then it's like, oh hey, you're gonna do something this episode. Whoop, better get my thumb out. Like,
but yeah.
So it feels kind of weird like that when they do get to do something.
You can definitely say in that anime, there are 3 characters that really, really, really matter in it.
Yeah.
And in this one, it feels like there is one.
Yeah. Yeah, 1.5
because even
maybe.
in the off people, even the Aragaki and Friends episodes, she's still present there.
Yeah,
heavily present. But that's all I'll say about it. It was a decent episode though.
I thought it was pretty good. I'm looking forward to seeing how the whole show wraps up. I think there's only like 2 episodes left now, so
so
it's pretty cool.
All right, good buddy. What have you been watching, or did we already talk about it?
I haven't watched a whole hell of a lot, honestly. I did catch new MHA. I mean, so I was planning on watching like more and doing stuff, but it's been a very hectic week. Like, I'm literally the only guy at my job right now, so no joke. As of tomorrow, when y'all are listening to this, I'll be finishing off a 60-hour work week, which is pretty sweet. But yeah, I did watch new MHA. I did watch Hanibado. We talked about that. Did watch the new Cells at Work. That one was really cool, man. That show just keeps being adorable.
I really need to check it out. I have not check it out.
I don't know if it's something like for sure we'll cover or whatever on the show, but it is very cute and very fun and very funny. I like it a lot. I watched one other thing that I will only mention briefly because it's not anime, but I feel like it's worth mentioning. Adventure Time is over.
Really?
The show's done. They wrapped it, and there was like an hour-long special episode, and it was pretty sick. It was pretty rad.
I didn't know it was coming to a close. So.
Yeah, man, the show's done. Official series finale, which I will say, if anyone out there, like I'm
like tie in any of the theories or anything like that.
They did one thing that probably the thing that most folks were psyched about, which I am also psyched about, but that has several asterisks on it. But like. So first of all, if anyone out there, unlike me, has not been watching every season and keeping up with it, it ain't gonna make much sense this finale because you don't know who Jermaine is, who's Fern, what's a Mahjong the Skyward, never heard of it. Like, you're not gonna.
I haven't watched since like season 4.
Dude, it's gotten fairly inconscruptible according to Amazon 11. I don't think that's accurate though. But yeah, I really like that show. I like all those shows. Steven Universe is great, etc., etc. But yeah, this one was really cool. The one thing they did that really got everybody up and crazy is because the first time they really like hinted at it in the show was literally back in 2011. And spoiler alert for Adventure Time, I guess. So cut it off in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Princess Bubblegum and Marceline kiss.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, it was huge. It was huge, and people loved it, and it was really cute, too, because, like, there's this big battle going on. This thing, like, smashes the fuck out of Princess Bubblegum. Marceline freaks out, turns into a giant monster, and beats up that thing, and then gets to her and gets her up. She's like, I thought you were dead, and she's like, no, I'm fine. And she
what happened with Finn there?
Well, hang on. She says something like, Bubblegum says something like to her. She says, I don't remember the exact words. She says, I'm always good, fine. And Marceline goes, that didn't make any sense. She goes, I think I have a concussion. And then they kiss. It's really cute. But like, so the whole deal is like.
Because I remember Finn was in like a relationship with Flame Princess.
Yeah, Finn. So Finn's been all over the place, man. He was
these kids, man.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like the whole show is like him growing up, going through like, you know, getting interested in things, having relationships, losing relationships, etc., etc. It's really great. There was the whole like mini arc with, this is not anime, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. There was a whole mini arc called Islands where you got to find out where the rest of the humans are, and also, oh hi mom, like it's really great. But yeah, the whole thing with Finn is that like he's kind of like had these on again off again things with several different characters. There's a whole episode where like literally he was just like, I'm just gonna date everybody, so he just ran around dating different characters for like a night or two and then moving and dating someone else. But the last one was I think Huntress. I can't remember if she's actually called Huntress Princess or not, but she's like a real badass like ranger type that lives in the woods and shit. That was a fun one, but I mean, that's the thing is like the show's over. It doesn't really give you a solid ending on that, which they kind of give you. And also, if I may, I think the bigger kiss in that one was Lumpy Space Princess smooching on the Earl of Lemongrab, which was hilarious.
Oh my god!
I do want to say this though, just because I really want to mention this real quick. I said that I was also like I was really happy for the Marceline Bubblegum Kiss thing with an asterisk. So here's the asterisk. Way back in 2011, when that episode came out and all that stuff, and people were making fan art and being like, "Holy shit! Oh, they dated or something like that. Whoa, this is so cool!" And everyone was losing their shit. Mm-hmm. They had a YouTube channel called Mathematical, which was literally just a Adventure Zone like fan group basically, mm-hmm. but it was like official and like ran by by like Frederator or whatever in part, and there was a dude that like ran the thing. Okay, they did an episode about that episode where they were like subtext and like they were playing along like, ooh, what does this mean? And someone somewhere higher up in the company was like, no, shut it down. And like it became a whole thing. They deleted the episode. That dude got straight up fired and didn't have a job. And then later on, they like started doing more hints at it and like, okay, it's cool now. And I'm like, okay. And then like 7 years later now, the show's over and they actually smooch. It's like full on canon. And I'm like, neat. Did y'all give that fucker his job back? Like, what did y'all do to this guy? Like, that's kind of fucked up, right?
Yeah.
But like, that was all like studios and production and shit. And they're like freaked out because, well, I mean, subtext, but not subtext. I mean, that'd be weird, right? No. It's just really shitty shit.
Yeah.
Like that whole situation.
Politicking.
Anyway, that show was great. It had a really great song in it that I got a little choked up while I was watching it. And then later I watched it was written, of course, by Rebecca Sugar, who she played the ukulele, but she plucked on the heartstrings. Because man, that girl can't. She cannot play a song without me bursting into tears. But I saw the San Diego Comic-Con where she performed it like a cappella on her ukulele. That's the one where I cried, and I'm talking like hot tears. Like, ooh, that was the good stuff.
My goodness gracious, dude! Somebody get this. He's a mess.
Go to my Twitter. There's a demo on there with her singing it. It's fucking beautiful. It's great.
This isn't the Go to My Twitter podcast, sir.
It's also not the Adventure Time podcast, but I will definitely run one of those.
This is the Good Buddies anime podcast.
It is indeed. And now that I've talked enough about a thing that is not anime, sorry everyone, but that's like the only other thing I watch.
I'm pretty sure lots of people like Adventure Time here, so it's probably not a big deal.
Yeah, but now let's get to what we're actually here to talk about, which is the first 4 episodes of
Hinamatsuri. All right, man, let's dive right into it.
You just want to hit it up right now?
The first episode doesn't have an intro, so that doesn't come until the second episode.
But what's it called?
The first episode is called Arrival of the Psychokinetic Girl.
Hell yeah, it is.
But first, before we start, I guess I should ask, how did you feel about these 4 episodes? You feel this could be something that goes at the end, but
I'm pretty super into this show, man. It's really fun. It's really funny. It's got a lot of hilarious, like, just fun shit.
Yeah, it's like emotionally so. It's all over the place.
There's like
it's great.
There's one thing in here that I was kind of like, it like kind of skeeved me out a little bit, but I mean, we'll get to that.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, for the most part, I really enjoy this show.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So, episode 1, Arrival of the Psychokinetic Girl.
Hell yeah. So, this whole thing's, like we said, there's no intro on this first episode. It just starts with this scene, which is kind of interesting because it looks like, I don't know how to describe it. It doesn't look like a modern setting when it this first bit. There's like, everything's made of wood and
it's 3 years in the future.
However, yeah, that's the thing. It's was it 3 or 2?
It was 3.
3 years, yes, you're right. But what you see is this red-haired girl whipping the ass of a bunch of dudes. The collective ass of a bunch of these dudes with what appears to be some kind of weird wooden mug with like hair and a face on it.
Yeah, it was like a wig tonfa or something.
It was really goofy looking, yeah. She is apparently a Naika Kin master or something. And like she's facing down with this last dude. And he like starts to pull something out of his coat, and she like knocks it away, and he's like, my smartphone, which I thought was pretty funny. But then more dudes approach, and she says to herself, hang on, Hina-chan. Like she's looking for Hina-chan apparently. I do also want to point out in that scene, there's a blonde dude I noticed with a shirt that just says rock on it, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. He shows up later. All right. 3 years ago, a fairly fancy dude celebrates his newest acquisition, which is a very fancy 2 million yen vase, apparently, with a glass of wine. And then what appears to be a large metal egg with a face on it falls out of a portal above him onto his head. And he's just in his apartment chilling, and this thing just bonk, and it lands there. And this is just like the first thing, and it makes me laugh so hard. He just looks at this, and he's like, what the fuck? And he looks down, and he sees this big, weird metal egg-looking thing with a face on it just looking at him. He goes, I didn't see that. And he just gets up and walks away.
So Brandon watched the
we should say this. I've been watching the subtitle version.
And I watched the dub. Mm-hmm. And so at this part, whenever she falls and clacks on his head, and he looks over, he says, how many pills did I take today?
It's pretty great. This is gonna be fun. I'm really glad we watched different versions so we can kind of compare shit. But yeah, he says in the subtitle, he just says, "I'll just pretend I didn't see that," and he just gets up and walks away. Next morning, he washes up, wakes up, washes up, gets dressed, walks out, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm still there." And the face on the egg speaks, and it asks him, hey, can you hit the switch on the back? There's this big, what appears to be a big red gem or ball thing on the back of it. And he like turns it over with his foot and just kicks it, and it pops open. He falls over, and there's a nude girl just standing there. And she does appear to be very young. They don't, that's one thing that was kind of weird. It's like, all right, but it's kind of like, what do you say it now? They kind of got some Terminator vibes going.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like she came from somewhere and she was naked, and she's like, clothes please. And
yeah. It didn't weird me out because she's
It didn't really weird me out. It was just kind of like,
because
all right.
Very quickly in this, Nita definitely becomes a father figure.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it was the fact that his immediate reaction was, "You fucking brat, what are you doing?" Like that.
Yeah,
that's what made because like
no
don't get me wrong, there are so many other animes where the same age dude would see the same age girl and be like, "Oh, like." Okay.
There was no blushing or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah. It was just like, you fucking, what's wrong with you? Like, okay, decent reaction. Put some clothes on.
Yeah.
She says, clothes, please. And he's like, what the hell? Get out of my apartment. And she just reaches over, stretches her hand, and starts levitating a bunch of vases. He's like, oh, shit. And she just drops them.
He loves his vases.
He loves his fancy vases, his expensive fancy vase. He's a collector, a real connoisseur, if you will.
I'm going to find this out while you're explaining.
That's fine. Okay, you search for stuff and tell me later. She levitates a bunch of vases and drops them. Cut to her fully dressed watching TV while he's picking up the pieces. She calls herself Hina, and he's like, can you help me? He keeps calling her dude in the subtitles in this one. He's like, dude, what did you even do? She's like, I'm not dude, I'm Hina. And she has this very monotone voice, which I think you mentioned before when you talked about this show.
1 yen, we might talk about yen here and there.
Exchange rate.
1 yen equals 0.009 of the USD, of the United States dollar. So it's a little less than a penny. 1 yen is a little less than a penny.
So 100 yen is
100 yen,
almost $1.
Yeah, it's 90
like 99 cents.
It's just 90.
Okay, 90 cents.
And then let's see, 1 million yen.
Knock a couple numbers off and make it a 9.
Yep, is $9,008.60.
Nice.
Yeah. So
that was a roughly $1,800 vase that he had acquired, etc., etc. All right, pretty cool. That's money, baby. But yeah, she he and this dude who you don't find his name until a bit later, but his name is Nita. That's his last name, of course. He keeps asking her, like, okay, can you at least help me out with this? So she levitates all the bits and puts them into the trash can. The wrong trash can. Puts them into the, burnable trash can as opposed to the other one, because that's how you dispose of stuff. He asks, like, where'd you come from? Why do you have these powers? She does not answer. He tells her, okay, well, get out of here, man. You got your clothes, beat it. And she threatens... she reaches toward this big painting of a vase on his wall, and it starts shaking. He's like, okay, never mind, you can stay. It's really great. He takes care of her for a bit, and he's like he says to himself at one point, why do I feel like a caregiver? Which becomes a bit of a running joke. Later, they end up in a store because Hina has no personal effects. She has no, nothing of her own, no clothes except what he just gave her, which is like, just a jumpsuit, like a tracksuit or something. Doesn't even have a toothbrush or nothing in here. So they end up at a store, and boy, oh boy, she buys up the place, or he does for her. He's complaining, but he shuts up after she puts him into a psychic hammer lock, just wrenches his freaking arm behind him, which is pretty great. Hina wants all the most expensive mug because it has a nice handle. She wants all the clothes. She can't sleep without a stuffed animal, so she has to have stuffed animals. And Nita, this dude, ends up spending just under 1,000,000 yen, which we know is like right at $9,000 or so. But yeah, they end up later getting high-end sushi because homegirl wants to try ikura, which is like, I think, salmon eggs or something. It's a very, very fancy sushi.
Salmon roe is what it's.
Salmon roe.
Yeah,
okay.
they're talking about salmon roe.
But he agrees. She later they're watching TV and there's a news story about school, and Hina says she wants to try going to school, and Nita says, all right, fine, but only if you promise not to use your powers. And they do a pinky swear, which I think I watched this one in the subtitle, and I switched over to the dub to see what it was like, and it was pretty close. But in the subtitle, she says, whoever tells a lie will commit seppuku and die.
Yeah.
So like, you die, you lie, you die.
In
the dub?
Yes. She says, you will...
If you tell a
lie, you'll get stabbed by a knife and bleed out and die.
It sounds about right.
I think that's what it was.
Something like that. It's really great. She then, shortly thereafter, falls asleep on the couch without her stuffed animal, and Nita's like, "But you couldn't sleep no stuffed animal. Bullshit. I spent money on nothing. My name's Nita, blah, blah, blah." So then at school, she's wearing her little outfit and stuff.
She's got to go to school, man. She loves it. Looks awesome.
Want to go to school. She's being introduced to the class by the teacher, who introduces her as Nita, and she's like, she doesn't respond when he says that. He's like, hello, and she goes, what? No, Nita's not here. And he goes, what? I could have sworn. He reads the thing and says, yeah, it says right here your name's Nita. And she's like, what? And then she remembers the conversation she had with Nita earlier, where he says, listen, your name's going to be Nita. That's what they'll call you, okay? And she goes, what she actually says is Okatanari or something like that in the thing, which in the subtitle just says okay Nari, which I was like, I don't know what that means. And then his response is, have you been watching anime? And I tried to look it up. The closest I could find was a thing where it's apparently like kind of a... like Nari is just kind of okay Nari or okay Nari something else. If there's like a longer version, is a thing that sometimes characters say in animes. You know what? I don't know what it is. I thought it was cute.
In English, all it says is she's like,
okay,
sure,
yeah, like then, that's it. Like they don't even point it out because it's like
and in school she says, oh yeah, I forgot I am Nita.
Yeah, that's exactly what she does in that one. Meanwhile, a girl in the back of the room passes a note that this girl looks like she's in grade school, to which the girl who she passed the note to, who we meet later, and I believe it's it wasn't Hinata, Hitomi, that's it. Oh, yeah, Hitomi? The girl is Hitomi, who she passed the note to, and she's like, okay, we just got out of grade school, chill. Like, why are you talking shit? Hitomi's actually really cool, and you meet her, you get a lot about her later. Anyway, Nita, meanwhile, is in a meeting. He is, in fact, some kind of Yakuza guy, and he's in a meeting with this big guy named Chief and the boss, who's this old guy, and they're having some kind of issue with a rival gang, apparently. The boss tells the Chubbo dude, who is they call Chief later, not to stress about it, and Nita, meanwhile... all they see is him sitting there with his head down, and he just says to himself, well, if things get bad, I'll just go myself. And they're like, man, I really like your spirit, dude. But he's actually just thinking about the school and how much trouble Hina might get into. So then after that, in class, teacher is describing the Nomahage, which I looked up, and they're like these mythical creatures that are like not demons but almost demons, and they walk around with these weird bucket things, these little pails. And I was like,
yeah,
was that lady at the beginning one of these? Is that the joke? I don't know. Maybe we'll find out later. She did have a weird cup-looking bucket thing. I don't know. Maybe that's a spoiler. We'll find out. Anyway, Hina falls asleep in class and sleeps through literally every class until lunch. Nice girl who we, again, find out later is Hitomi, right? Hitomi, yes. I keep forgetting names. There's a lot of names in here. Wakes her up, and Hina's got a little bit of drool on her. She wipes her drool away, and she says, why do I feel like a caregiver? Because this girl apparently just has a habit of, like, she's such a little child that everyone becomes her mom or dad, which is kind of adorable to me. All right. Hina's playing Wii Fit later back at the apartment.
Yeah, she's straight up playing Wii Fit.
She's straight up playing Wii Fit. Wii Fit trainers on the screen. I'm like, hell yeah.
And she earned a sip of sports drink.
Yeah, man.
Is that what she said in the...
Something like that, yeah.
She said, okay.
Time for a break or something like that.
She says, I've earned a drink of sports drink.
I don't think she says sports drink, but that's pretty great.
She says sports drink. And
that's fucking great.
Like, it's trying to levitate a bottle that says sports drink on it to her.
But then she's like, she remembers, oh, I'm not supposed to use my power, so she stops. Yeah. But then she starts sparking out overloads and just blows up the whole damn apartment damn near. Right as Nita comes in. And he's like, what the hell happened? She explains, well, I have to use my powers over our overload. So then Nita's like, well, damn, what are we going to do? She's like, he's like, well, okay, so that's done now, right? And she's like, no, it'll happen again. I need to use my powers. So he remembers a job he got from his boss. Construction company needs some cheap developers out at this little place in the woods or something. So Nita drives Hina out there. She is pleased but slightly surprised that like she's not being scolded like as they're driving. Like she just blew up his apartment and he's like not giving her shit. So he's like, oh man, he's not like the other grown-ups. At the spot, Nita shows her, look, I need it to look like this. So like all these trees, you just got to clear them out and stuff. And so she like immediately just uproots all these trees, even strips them and shapes them into lumber, refills the holes. I mean, she wrecks it immediately, just makes it perfect because she's that damn good. And Nita's just sitting there like, holy shit.
He's like, oh hell yeah.
Like he loves it.
That's something that happens in the dub a whole lot.
Oh hell yeah.
Excited, like, oh hell yeah.
It's kind of rad. I should watch the dub.
And they do this funny tongue thing too.
A funny tongue thing? Oh yeah. You
see it sometimes in the
All right.
It's not going to be any different in the sub, but you'll see what I'm talking about.
I'll definitely keep my eye out.
Yeah.
All right. On the way back, they're driving, and she's a little apprehensive about how giddy Nita was with her work. And they talk for a bit, and he actually pretty much immediately gets that, like, oh, she's been taken advantage of for these powers in the past. Like, that's in the sub. He's like, he says something like, so she says something about grown-ups, and she knows that look that he gave her, and he's like, oh, okay. So like he gets that, like, you know, she has this power. It makes sense that she would be taken advantage of. And so he's about to like he's about to tell her that, you know, he's not going to be like that, when all of a sudden he gets a call, and they end up back at the boss's office. Apparently the boss has been shot. Chubbo, the chief, is pissed off, wants Nita to handle things, and he puts a gun on the table. And Nita, meanwhile, Hina's sitting there on the, what's the line she says? She's sitting there on the couch drinking this tea, and she's like, just what I would expect from the highest class green tea available. And behind her, this other dude's like, no, it's from the 100 yen shop.
The 100 yen store, yeah. Yeah. She says in the English,
it's a dollar store, right?
Yeah, in the English dub, the 90-cent store. Yeah. In the English dub, she says, I've never had tea of this quality before.
That's so good. That dude who tells her it's from the 100 yen store, we find out later, is Sabo. He ends up being a pretty cool guy.
It's weird saying these Yakuza are a pretty cool guy.
They are really cool guys,
because they really
they're like legit neat.
There's an episode you're gonna love later.
Okay, I'll get into it. But outside, basically this whole thing was with the Shinazuka group, who apparently have in fact attacked the boss. Nita takes the gun, leaves Hina at the office. He is parked outside of this big office, this large office type building, which apparently is the Shinazuka office. And he's stressing about being a hired gun, and what's he gonna do? He could just walk in here and get blasted. And then from the back seat, he just hears, "Hey," and he's like, "What?" And he freaks the fuck out because Hina's in the back seat somehow. And she tells him, "Why don't you just order me to go in there?" And he says, "What? No, that's not your problem. I'm not gonna do that." And she has like, there's a flash of like the screen goes black and there's just letters that say "eliminate all enemies" or something like that. And she kind of looks at him. She's like, "Huh, you're not like other grown-ups. I actually like you, Nita." She smiles and she said, "Yeah, you're not like other grown-ups I know." And she gets out of the car, and it seems like the kind of thing where like she wants to do this, not because she's being told to, because she wants to,
right?
Which is really great. And it's a very cool scene because like she's walking kind of slowly to this building, which is apparently full of very dangerous gangsters. And Nita's like, "Wait, no, what are you doing?" And like the music swelling, it's like like it's real dramatic as she like goes up to this door and walks in, and he runs up behind her and he says, "No, don't, it's too dangerous." And he like stands outside and like stops and just kind of does that thing where he kind of takes the position like he's a Dragon Ball character charging up. He goes, "Hina!" like tries to stop her, just screams her name, and then he is abruptly shut off and the music stops when a dude just flies out the freaking door, like just gets rocketed out, and he's like, "Oh, wait." And then like 20 dudes fly through all of these windows.
And as they're coming out, they're all saying, "Owie, owie."
There's a lot of owies.
Yeah, owie.
They're all like, "Ouchie, ouchie, owie." It's so good. They just all these dudes immediately fly out all the windows. And then she walks out just pretty as you please with the boss floating behind her going, "Owie, owie, owie."
Yeah. Owie.
It's so good.
Owie.
And Nita's just standing there like, "All right." Why was that word? like a fucking idiot. It's so good, dude. Back at the office, he's celebrated as the top soldier because they like, "Oh yeah, he did it." Hina enjoys another cup of this incredible quality tea, which of course is actually from the 100 yen store.
Same cheap tea he had before.
Mm-hmm. And afterwards, he asks, they're in the car, and he asks Hina if she wants anything as a thank you, and she's like, "Huh? Why?" And he's like, "Well, because you should be rewarded when you do something good." And she says, "Ikura." So he takes her to the fancy restaurant, orders her a special bowl of Ikura that's just full of these freaking eggs and rice underneath.
It
looks real good.
It's salmon roe. That's what they always in the English dub they say salmon roe the whole time. Salmon
she says Ikura the whole time. But in the he tells her, she's like kind of surprised that she's getting this fancy meal, and he says, "Listen, in the grown-up world, you earn a reward that's appropriate for the work you do." And she takes a bite and she goes, "Mm." And then there's like, she goes all sparkly for a second and she says, "Now I have become a woman." And it cuts back to him. "No, you haven't."
Yeah. Yeah, and the English one is like, "I've become a woman fully bloomed." He's like, "I don't think so."
It's really good. This is great. After the credits, he just got out of the shower. He's like got a towel around him. He's drinking a beer, and he walks through the living room of his apartment, and he sees that weird little red ball. Mm-hmm. And he's like, "Huh?" And he picks it up, and it activates, latches around him, and now he's just a face on the metal egg. And he's laying there like his beer is sitting on he like set his beer down before he did, so it's just sitting on the coffee table, and he's like, and Hina walks through, and she's just like, "Eh." And then she just walks away and leaves him. And apparently, so there's a bit there where, I don't know how it was in the dub or whatever, but in this one, he's like laying there and he's like, "Come on, let me out." And it just shows the beat, like a close up of his drink. And then you hear like like he just pissed himself.
It's very similar to that. You can hear the sound of that. He's relieving himself.
Yeah, because he couldn't get out. He's stuck there for hours, apparently pisses himself. She eventually releases him the next morning, and he pops out. It's playing that dun 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 dun, dun music. And he's sitting there kneeling with the yellow stink lines coming off of his fucking balls and ass.
Yeah.
And she says Terminator, but it's bleeped. Which I think also I looked it up on the dub version, and it does the same thing. It's like Terminator.
She says Terminator.
Does she?
Yeah.
I could have sworn I looked it up and it was also bleeped there.
No.
All right.
She says Terminator.
Just gonna... It is bleep.
Oh, I guess there's a bleep.
It is bleep, you son of a bitch. How many times will you doubt me?
So it's not term beep.
It's Terminator. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's what I said it said. It said the same thing. Look, I even wrote it down. It was
just a total beep.
Terminate beeper. Beeper. Like, that's the thing. Which I thought, I was like, I didn't know why they did that. I didn't understand
what you were explaining with. I didn't remember the beep for sure, but I knew that it made it very clear that it was Terminator.
Well, no, but yeah, that's the thing. Is like, so I was like, why'd they do that? And apparently the working theory is that it's because Terminator is a copyrighted thing. They didn't want to have to say that. They could make reference, but if they say Terminator with the reference, then it's like, okay, well, you're definitely talking about Terminator. It's copyright, pay us money. I thought it was because he shit himself or pissed himself. And maybe she was like making a pun about Terminator, but with piss.
Oh, okay.
Because the only thing I could find is that the Japanese word for urine is like nyo, I think. So she might have called him a Terminator, which was funny to me, but no one else.
Oh my god.
Anyway.
All right.
That's episode 1. You can cut out that bit where I was looking for it, right? Just when I was looking for it.
Could I?
All right. Whatever. Episode 2.
Episode 2. This is how you have a superpower battle.
This one's so goddamn good.
It's great.
This one starts on the street. Sparks and another metal egg lands in the street, bounces, lands with the ball part that releases it on a drink can. It bursts, pops out a blonde girl who is also new, just like Hina was. She immediately lands with her back on that drink can, and then she rolls over and goes, owie. Which is really great. A bunch of bikers roll up and accost her. These dudes have the biggest pompadours. They look like real fucking delinquents. It's another gang. And they're like, hey, get out of the street, you dumb kid. Put some clothes on you, brat. And she's just like, and takes all of them out. Because just like Hina, she's some kind of psychokinetic girl. And she takes the main dude, she takes his clothes. They do not fit her very well. They do look really cool. White pants, shirt, big long white jacket that says Jashinryu on the back.
He's got the Sanosuke Sagara going on for him from Rurouni Kenshin.
It's pretty sweet. You know, I haven't. I
never watched Rurouni Kenshin?
I definitely watched it. I didn't get into it very much. I think it was the dub that like kind of bummed me out because that dude was I just remember that dude constantly being like, "You must not do that. No, you must not." And I was like, "I hate your voice."
He has a voice pretty similar to that in the Japanese as well.
Yeah, all right.
He's very.
It's just the way he kept like saying "yes, you must" or "no, you must not" at the end of every sentence, and I was like, "Leave me alone."
Yeah,
I was like, "Shut up, dude."
It's a great anime.
I'm sure it wouldn't bother me as much.
Do you not remember Sanosuke? He's the guy with the gigantic
he had the
blade.
big sword that says "bad" on it or something.
Yeah, well,
because he's bad. He's bad. Shamon. Anyway, this guy's jacket says Jashinryu on the back, because that's the gang. And as she puts it on and she stands there, she says to herself, "Where could you be, Hina?" Because that's who she's looking for. Opening credits, they're pretty cool. I like them a lot. Real cute stuff. Yeah. You see a lot of scenes from the show, and it's kind of like, oh, I recognize these people, and there's some stuff I haven't seen yet. Those little scenes for this gonna be in the show. It's real good. All right, back from the credits. Nita is walking with his underling, that guy from before, who again we find out his name's Sabo, and his underling is telling him that apparently the Jashinryu gang was completely taken out by a young girl last night, and he thinks to himself it might have been Hina, but she didn't go anywhere. They were hanging out at the house all night. They enter a ramen shop, and immediately the first thing they see is what appears to be a small blonde girl wearing the Jashinryu jacket, sitting at the bar eating some ramen, and they're like, huh? And they both just kind of tighten up, but they do sit down. They sit. She almost blows the place up as she's leaving because she didn't have any money to pay for the ramen and was about to just walk out. Yeah. But Nita stops the owner of the place or the cook or whatever and pays for her. And then he's about to sit down. His excuse to Sabo is he says, "I'm trying to eat ramen. I don't want any mess while I'm in here.
I don't want her scene to ruin my ramen."
Exactly. But then he doesn't eat it anyway and leaves it for Sabo because he runs out to follow this girl because he's like, she's definitely another one of them psychic psycho girls. Runs out, and he then follows her to a park where he's hiding in a bush behind her as she sits on a bench. She's sitting there real badass with her arms on the back of the bench, one leg crossed, just looking like, man, I'm gonna fuck somebody up.
He's got
she's
two,
just so damn
he's
cool.
got like
he's got
two
little twigs, yeah, that he's holding around his head like that. He's so goofy looking. I love this guy. I love all these characters. They're all pretty great.
Yeah.
But like a few more dudes from this gang run up on her and they're like, hey, that's the boss's jacket, and she just blows all of them away and they're just like, owie, owie, owie. They always say owie. It's really great. And then she stands over one of them and asks him if he knows Hina, and Nita almost shits himself in that bush because he knows she is in fact here for Hina for some reason. Back at home, Hina's hungry. Nita's just stressed and blows her off. And he like actually does this thing where he just grabs her face, which was pretty funny.
Yeah.
He's like does one of these and just like squeezes her face, and she's like, eh. It's pretty weird, but pretty hilarious. We then see Blondie shoplifting. Blondie, I call her Blondie because we don't know her name yet. It's Anzu.
Yeah, it's Anzu.
Yeah. Nita is at the bar discussing this girl, like what is he going to do about it and all this. And he wonders what Hina may have become if she had not landed in his place. And he imagines a giant, like, Godzilla-sized Hina wandering through the streets going, feed me, which is pretty freaking great. And he thinks to himself and he says, Sabu, I may have saved this nation.
Yeah.
Just pretty awesome. We then see the kids walking to school. Blondie's wandering. Blondie sitting by the river, wondering where she's going to get food next. In that last scene, we do see Nita telling Sabu to have their informants, the homeless guys, keep an eye out. And we do see one such homeless guy spots her when she's sitting by the river, makes a call. Nita gets a call, tells Hina to come with him, and takes her with him. Instead of her going to school, he's going to drive her straight there. And he doesn't drive her straight there. They end up at the river, and you see Blondie. She gets up and she says, all right, I'm going to find Hina. I'm going to really find her. And then you hear the car door close, and she stops and she looks over, and there's Hina standing there, and she says, oh, it's Anzu, which is pretty great. I really like that one. Anzu immediately is like, oh, hey, okay, well, I'm here to defeat you. Like, and they start going at it. We also get a brief scene there where we see the Sabo. Was it Sabo or Sabu? I think it's Sabo.
It's Sabo, I think.
Sabo, yeah. We see Sabo paying that homeless guy, and she's like, he's kind of bummed out. He's like, to think I turned over that girl to the likes of you because they're the Yakuza. Yeah. And Sabo says to him, oh, it's nothing like that, Yasan. So we know his name's Yasan. We find out more about him later. All right. But anyway, Anzu says she's there to defeat Hina. Orders from the top. I'm here to defeat you and stop you or whatever. Nita stops her, says, no. You need to fight someplace else. You'll wreck the place if you do it here. And she says, get out of my way. Who are you? And he says, hey, Hina's going to run away if you don't listen. You have to listen to me, or else Hina's going to run away and you won't get to fight her. And Hina's like, why would I run? And he immediately just whispers in her ear, Ekura for dinner. Salmon roe for dinner. And she goes, yeah, I'll run away top speed. Like, she's absolutely paying on anything for those delicious fish eggs.
She
apparently.
dead paints it so good. The voice actress for her in the English is really good.
Yeah,
she's like, no, I won't. And then he says, I'll get you salmon roe.
And she's like, yes, I will.
She's like, yes, I'll run so fast.
It's so good. The show's amazing. Like, just the little turnarounds they do like that. There's one scene later that, like, I literally rewound and watched 3 times because it was so fucking funny to me. Nita proposes that they play that rock, paper, scissors, look the other way game. Which, I mean, so they do it in the first episode of Asobi Asobase 2, and apparently in a few other things. I didn't know this was a thing until I started seeing it in these animes, but apparently it's just basically what you do is you play rock, paper, scissors. Whoever wins tells the other person who lost to look that way, and then they have to force them to look that way, and if they do, that person loses. Mm-hmm. That's how the game works. Which in Asobi Asobase was pretty funny because they do that, and then the one girl just slaps the shit out of her to make her face go that way, which is amazing. It was really good. All right. he proposes they play this game. Anzu's like, I don't know. I'm here to dispose of Hina. And he just leans down to Hina and says, hey, Morakura tomorrow. Ikura tomorrow. And she goes, what, are you scared? Which is really good. She's like, just like as soon as she hears that there's going to be more good food, she's like, yeah, come on, pussy. Like, swing. Well, you don't want to play? You don't want to play? You want to fight? It's really good. They begin. Anzu wins the first rock, paper, scissors. She tells Hina to look down and points down and starts using her powers to try and force her down. And the fucking effect is great because it's like, if you've ever fucked around with a leaf blower and just pointed at your face and like you see someone, like if you've ever seen anyone's face in a very strong wind, this is what's happening. Like it's trying to, there's this, like imagine a very strong wind pushing this girl's face down. So you just see her skin rippling and her eyes like going like, and her mouth falling open, but she's not looking down. They play again. She can't make her look down within 10 seconds. So that's round 1. Round 2. Anzu wins again, tells her to look up, does the same thing. Now her like hair's flying up in the air, but she is not looking up. She can't force her to look up. Round 3, Hina wins, forces her to look, says, look over there, points toward the water because they're by the river, and she damn near breaks this girl's neck. Like this, it starts and she just... Like you actually hear the snap. There's a huge explosion as the power like goes past her into the water and just blasts it everywhere. It's really rad. And then she just falls down and just starts writhing on the ground going, owie, owie, owie. It's really good.
I freaking love the owies.
The owies are great, man. She's actually tearing up a little bit. And then she stands back up and she says, all right, Hina, don't move for a second. And she grabs her hair and just rips out a hunk of her hair. And then Hina falls down and just has her turn to do the owie, owie, owies. And she says, listen, I'll try to convince them you're dead. I'll use your hair for that. I got to get out of here. And then Hina's like, wait, you want to hang out first? And Anzu's kind of like, huh. She's kind of shocked. She says, you couldn't even talk before or something like that. You were always so quiet, but they're going to hang out. So they go back to the apartment. They play some video games. They laugh. They eat. They take a nap. It's really cute. Nita does some laundry. He's on full dad mode, just throwing like all their clothes into the laundry. They're wearing like, house clothes or whatever, like a t-shirt and shorts or whatever. It's cute stuff. Notably, when he puts Anzu's clothes, the jacket and stuff she got from the gangster dude, that little red ball is in there as well, getting washed. So afterwards... she's leaving and they're all at the door seeing her off, and Hina says, hey, let's hang out again. And Anzu says, you're supposed to be dead, we won't see each other again. And she leaves and she's on the street and she's like, all right, time to go home. She pulls out that little ball and nothing happens, doesn't work. She squeezes it and it just water falls out of it.
Comes right out of it.
And she's like, what the fuck? And she's stuck there. She can't leave. She can't go home. She can't do anything. And she ends up under a bridge crying, which is a pretty huge bummer. And that's the first half of this one. The second half is like kind of a completely different story.
Yep.
So next half is Nita at a bar. He's asking the bartender, who's a very pretty lady named Utako. He's asking her out to dinner, and she says, you're joking, right? And he says, why would I be joking? And then she points at Hina, who's sitting there next to him, and she's like, I'd like a sweet cocktail, please. Which is really cute. He's then at a girly club that just says love, love on the front of it. He's sitting with a couple of girls, and he's asking why they don't call him anymore. And they say, well, the rumor is you wanted to spend some quality time with your daughter, and you didn't fool around with girls anymore. And he's like, what? And he's pissed. He's upset. He's a young-ish dude. He's good looking. He's got this sick, like, bad boy scar. He's got money, obviously. Mm-hmm. He dresses very nicely. He should be slaying all the puss. But apparently, now that people have seen him running around with this little girl, they're like, oh, such a family man. And no one thinks that of him anymore. So he's upset. And he gets home, and Hina's like, what's for dinner? And he just, like, doesn't even say anything. He just grabs a tin of mackerel out of the freaking refrigerator or whatever and plops it on, opens it up, plops it on the table, and she's like, oh. And then she, like, takes a bite, and she's like, oh, it's good, though. So then the next bit is him resolving to go out and have some fun. And he just falutin' philanders all just for days straight. You see him like going out with this girl and taking a walk with this girl and driving his car with this other girl. And you also get these interstitial shots of Hina just sitting at the table eating more mackerel. And she's like, again? And she's kind of bummed. A few days of this later, we see Nita trying to leave, and he starts to leave, and then Hina says that she wants to go with him because she wants to hang out. He keeps running off without her. To which he responds, and he just bails. He just starts sprinting out of the house, out of the apartment. He gets the elevator, goes down the elevator, runs all the way to the train station where Bugs Bunny style he stops because she's already on the train looking at him before he gets on, so he just doesn't get on. It's really good. And yeah, she's obviously a little bummed. He's like, having fun. At school, Hina's complaining to her friend, who again we know is Hitomi. We find out her name in a moment, but that's Hitomi. And she ends up dragging Hitomi along to tell Nita. She wants to see what's going on with him. They end up in a part of town, and there's a bit where like they're watching him walk, and he actually just walks away because Hitomi says something like, why do you want me to come with you? And she says, listen, this place this is a really dangerous part of town. It's full of temptation. And she's like, okay. And then like they see him walking away, and Hitomi says, oh, he's getting away. Hey, Hina. And she looks, and Hina's just like walking, like leaning backwards as if she's mesmerized to a takoyaki stand.
Traps all over this city.
Yeah, it's really great. Like, because she was hungry and she wanted a little snacky snack. It's adorable. He gets away. She says, man, this place really is dangerous and full of temptation. The girls go to the bar. Utako isn't there. They figured he might have been. So Hina says, all right, I'm going to go look some more. You wait here. And she just runs off and leaves Hitomi in this bar by herself. It's a relatively small bar, but it's a pretty cool looking spot. Looks like a real chill place. And
what's it called? The Little Song?
The Little Song, yeah. Super cute. Seems like, I'd fucking hang out there. Hell yeah. This place looks rad. It's kind of dark. Nice mood lighting. They got all the drinks.
Looks expensive.
Later, there's a fucking middle schooler making you drinks.
Yeah.
Why not? Anyway, drunk guy wanders in and wants a drink and asks Hitomi if she's the new bartender. He says, you're really drunk. You're really, he's like already wasted, but he's calling for Utako because he wants another drink. She's not there, obviously. So he says, listen, I want a highball. Can you make me a highball? And this little girl's like, and he's like, what? No, don't worry. I'll show you how to make it. And then we cut away. Hina is sitting at the park, and Utako runs into her with like some bags of stuff, probably getting some supplies for the bar. And they start to chat for a little bit. Meanwhile, Nita ends up at the bar. Hitomi recognizes him and says, "Oh, you're the dad." And he immediately is like, "I'm not a dad." And then the guy who's already there, who we find out is Tanaka, old man Tanaka, he calls him, offers him a drink, and he says, "Oh yeah, sure, I'll have a martini." And he just sits down, and Hitomi's like, "No way!" Like, because now all these dudes are just making her make drinks because she's the only one there. Back with Hina and Utako. Utako says, well, what are you going to do when you find Nita anyway? She says, I'm going to deliver divine punishments, she says, when she finds him. And Utako, very reasonable, this woman, she says, so you want to play with Nita? Yeah. Well, then just tell him so. And Hina's kind of like, well, will he understand me if I do? Will he understand that? And she says, well, he definitely won't understand if you don't. Just like, yeah, that makes perfect sense. Just talk. Talk, you doofuses. You're not talking. This is good advice for pretty much everyone in every one of these shows ever, especially gamers. Holy shit, talk.
Yeah.
Fuck me, that fucking show. Anyway, sorry if you haven't listened before. I say fuck a lot. they end up heading back to the bar. There's a great bit right there, right at the end, where Hina is on the swing while they're having this conversation. And after that last bit, she like jumps off of it, tucks, and very slow motion, he just kind of floats through the air. And it looks like she's going to come back down, but then she goes whoop and goes up off the screen. Because she can fucking do that. She's psychic. Yeah. It's really great. She's like full on psychokinetic. It's great.
She did a floaty flip.
And then landed like perfectly, gently, like a little leaf on the little bar, like the bike bar, whatever. That
it's so great too. There's nothing gentle about Hina.
No, it's like that shit was graceful as hell. Yeah, I loved it. But yeah, they end up heading back to the bar. Let's see, where was I? Oh, here we go. They end up heading back to the bar, and at the bar, even more dudes are there. They're all getting drinks, and Hitomi's just making drinks. Tanaka tells Hitako that Hitomi is a natural. She's so good at this. And, like, as he does, she's, like, putting a drink down. She goes, "Your daiquiri, sir." It's like, oh, my God, I love this. She's, like, nailing it. Hina then tells, goes over to Nita, and she's like, "Oh, hey, Hina's here." And she says, "Nita, I want to, and he's like, what is it?" And she screams, "I want to go to a girly club with you." And he's like, and Tanaka's like, "That sounds fun. Yeah, she'll be like the youngest club goer ever. This will be great." And Nita's like, he's already a little bit drunk. And he's like, "You know what? Yeah. You're all invited too. Let's all go. Let's go." And they all walk out. They skip out of this fucking bar chanting "girly club, girly club, girly club." Yeah, and much to the horror of people on the street.
In the English, they're chanting "gentleman's club." Oh, gentleman's club.
I like girly club better. But yeah, they walk out. There's like on the street, there's all these people on the street who are just like seeing this and like, why are those kids going with these grown men to a girly club? It's really great. Atako also goes. I guess she just closes the bar for a little bit. But they end up at this freaking girly club. Atako says she wants a champagne tower. The club doesn't offer champagne towers. Nita makes a call and orders a champagne tower. They get a champagne tower. And he says, "Hina, why don't you pour it for us?" And she's like, "What? Can I?" She's like, "Yeah, it's an illusion." And like, because he doesn't want people to know she's got power. So she says, "Oh, it's a magic trick." So she like levitates the bottle up there, pours it on the champagne tower. It's beautiful. It's great. Everybody grabs her, starts throwing her in the air. Illusion, illusion, because they love it so much. It's great. Meanwhile, Hitomi's just sitting in a chair like, what the fuck am I doing here? And she actually gets a call from her mom, who doesn't believe she's at a girly club, and tells her to get home. Next morning, Nita wakes up with a big hangover and a bigger bill. It's like something like 2.5 million yen or something.
I think it was.
I'm going to tell you
it was 250,000.
I'm going to tell you it was 2,500,000. Do you want me to pull up the episode and show you how right I am?
Was it that much?
You want to place a bet, bro?
No, I don't want to bet, dude. You're always right.
Yeah.
I don't even know why I try.
I'm being a dick. I'm sorry. No, I'm fairly certain it was 2.5 million.
Okay, so it's 2.5 million.
Yeah, which is a lot. Whew. It's like more than 180,000, right? It's got to be like 200,000.
And that's 6 zeros?
It's a lot of zeros. Well, it'd be 2500000.
Okay, I got you. 1, 2,
5 zeros.
Yep, I got you. That is
exchange rate.
That is 22,000.
22,000. Okay.
$22,521.50.
Jesus, I love how it specifies 50 cents too.
Yeah,
that's really good. Anyway, he sees his big bill and he's like, "Oh man, we gonna be on the strug for a bit." He says frugal living for a while, but I like to think of it as on the strug.
He says, and in English, he just says, "Hey, Hino, we gotta leave. We gotta live, not leave. We gotta live cheap.
Gotta live cheap."
And she goes, "Uh-oh."
It's beautiful. All right, that's episode 2. We're on to episode 3.
Episode 3, Hobo Life 101.
This one's fun because it's actually like 3 different short stories. This first one is the one that kind of made me like, just the subject matter of it, I guess. We see Anzu. She's robbing another Kambini, a convenience store. She's running out with like a bunch of, cup noodles and shit.
Yeah.
Utako and a bunch of other shopkeepers chase her down. She says something like the Asaka, we'll show her what happens when you mess with the Asaka shopping district, which is apparently where they all work. They have her surrounded, but she gets a little help from Yasan, the homeless guy from before, who tells her, hey, this way, and leads her down an alleyway and gets her out. We also see that Utako hates cops, just like my good buddy Roger.
Yep.
It's a great scene. Utako has a lot of really great scenes. Like this one, the dude is like, just the way it's animated, he's like, you think we should bring the cops in on this? And she's like, hell no, I don't trust no damn cops. And she like, and like spits. She like turns around and like she's so mad. It's really funny looking. There's a bit later where like she throws salt out of the door and it's fucking hilarious looking. Like how fast she moves and shit. Anyway, the animation of the show is great and it's very funny and it perfectly adds to the hilarity of the situations. It's very well done. And that was Brandon's Animation Corner. All right. Yasan leads Anzu away through some trees and woods and whatnot, through a park, into what appears to be some kind of homeless camp. There's a bunch of little houses, makeshift like huts set up. And Yasan tells Anzu that theft is a crime and she'll be caught eventually, but there's another way. And she's like, what's another way? So he takes her into town where they pick up a bunch of loose cans. They go through garbage cans to get more cans. They search under and in vending machines for spare chains. And all in all, she ends up, from the cans and whatnot, with 690 yen. Which is about enough for 4 cup noodles, maybe. And she doesn't like it, but she gets that it's like honest, more honest than thievery, Yasan tells her you should use that money to buy drinks for all the others. And she's like, what the hell? And she's like, you got to, man. They'll accept you. The homeless have to stick together. It's like a real like solidarity kind of thing. And this is the thing that kind of bums me out about this, because like it kind of romanticizes the homeless lifestyle a little bit, which is like, okay, yes, that's good that they're sticking together and like they have like their little code or whatever and they're all friends apparently. But also like, hey, why don't we get y'all some homes? Why don't we like fix some shit that's going on where there's a homeless problem? That'd be nice.
Yeah.
It's a bummer.
Yeah, I think you might be looking a little too much into it, buddy.
Looking into it too much. It's one of those things where like you're romanticizing this facet of society that is not good. We need to fix this. You know, that's all I'm saying.
There is a reason that they do it. I won't say anything else than that.
All right.
But there is a reason they do it.
All right. But it's not just this. It's like that stuff that happens a lot. Like you'll have a thing that is like, oh, these people are in a bad situation, but look how happy they are. They're getting along fine. It's like, yeah, they're still fucking living on the street. Don't be a dick.
Yeah.
Like this is shitty. Don't romanticize that shit. Anyway, if they have a reason for it in the story later, that's fine. I'm just saying like from this one scene that's where I'm sitting at.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, come on, man.
It's there to make you feel one way or another, pretty much. Yeah, right. So they do a lot of things in this show that, you know, you could look at it that same way with anything, like the excessive use of alcohol in the show.
But I like my booze, Roger. I don't like people living on the streets. I like my booze.
Making one of your 2 main characters and all of his buddies part of the Yakuza.
Yeah, but they're like good natured.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. The show is just wonky. There's not a reason for that. I think the thing. I just didn't look too far into it. I guess. I think that the reason this one particularly
I can't speak tonight, man. I'm fucking it up over here.
You're fucking it up.
Fucking it up.
Are you anonymous?
Yeah, no.
You haven't seen that fucking clip. He tries to.
I don't want to see it.
I'm not gonna show you. I'm talking about the fucking Trump thing where he can't talk and we're all gonna fucking die. We're gonna get blown up by a motherfucker who can't say a simple like. Anonymous. That's 4 syllables and he can't figure it out. That fucker.
You got to give me some credit because I can at least correct
say it.
I can correct myself after I say a word wrong.
What really gets me about that fucking clip is that he says it wrong and then he takes another swing and still says it wrong. He says, "For the Fairly New York Times, this anonymous blah blah," like, and then he goes on and I'm like, dude, it's like T-ball. You whiffed once, you went back and whiffed again. How do you whiff twice? The ball's on a fucking tee. Anyway, that's Brandon's politics corner. Not even politics, just boy can't talk.
Hey, this isn't the Good Buddies political podcast. Did you want to start one of those?
Not particularly.
Yeah, me either.
It's very depressing. My current stance is that fucker can't say a 4-syllable word and he's going to explode all of us. All right. Anyway, now that we've lost a few more listeners.
Yeah. These son of a bitch.
Okay.
These liberal snowflake
Can we talk about that one, though? Because, like, we had another thing a few episodes ago where we were like, yeah, you know what? If you abuse animals, fuck you. We're taking the hard stance here. Also, fucking murderers and these guys. And then you were like, Trump supporters. I was like, now, okay. Because, like, and you edited that.
I did edit that one out.
Because we went a little harder on the Trump supporters. We did go a little bit harder on the Trump supporters. Because fuck them. Anyway.
I won't edit this time.
Yeah, don't edit shit out. I'm saying it. Fuck y'all.
Yeah.
You voted for that orange bitch. You can get fucked. All right, I'm done.
God damn it, dude. God damn it. Let's just get on with that.
Now you have to edit it.
Hobo Life 101.
Now you have to edit it.
No, I ain't editing shit, dude. It's staying in. I'm not saying anything.
Well, I said it. And I'm taking the hard
I'm your good
stance.
buddy Roger. They're gonna start. It's gonna be a debate, dude.
And I'm your bad buddy Brandon.
Who is the goodest buddy? And I'm
the best buddy.
I'm gunning in them goodest buddy points right now.
You're gunning in them coward points. You coward.
Yeah.
Take a stance, you son of a bitch. You fucking
Just another millennial
bastard.
snowflake, dude. Give me a break.
Oh God, we have gotten so off topic. I was going like at a pretty good pace through this fucking episode, and I took us all the way.
Damn,
I took
Brandon
us
is slaying
all the way down.
He's slaying it, son.
Oh, that was fun. Okay, back to the shit. All right. So he tells her to buy some drinks. She says, "I don't want to do that." He says, "Come on, they'll accept you. You gotta." Homeless guys stick together. All right. At the camp, the others are unsure about letting her in, but they do agree to drink when Yasan tells them, "Hey, come on, she bought sake." One of them actually asks Zanzu to sing a song. She refuses. Shigi.
Just say Shiggy.
It's not Shiggy. Shiggy was the guy from Made in Abyss with the best name.
Shiggy.
This is Shige, I think, who's kind of it appears to be the oldest and perhaps the leader, a de facto leader of these guys, says, well, if she's not going to sing, then she's just really good for nothing. And he's like, and Yasan's like, hey, she bought the drinks. And he's like, yeah, there's no way she bought all this much sake with 1 day's worth of, cans and whatnot. You definitely helped her out. And he doesn't admit to anything, but it's, he's kind of bummed out. So Yasan walks over to and says, "Hey, come on, do you know any songs? Like, why don't you sing for it?
Yeah,
it'll be fun." And she says, "Well, I know one song," and she sings it, and it's awful. Yeah. I don't know. I didn't watch the dub version, but in the sub, she's just like screaming, and it's something like
it's the same.
Big Mean Wolf going
Big Mean
along.
Wolf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Finds a deer and nom nom nom. Finds a pig and nom nom noms. Finds a sheep and nom nom noms.
And now he's very full.
Yes. And she's like there's no like rhapsody rhythm, harmony or anything. She's just like Big Mean Wolf, blah blah blah. Like
yeah, it's almost like a cheer.
Yeah, it's kind of like a cheer. It's really funny and it's kind of adorable. And she stops her awful song and she looks and she sees like pretty much all of them are like have their heads down. And I was like, are they laughing at her? No, they are actually crying. A couple of them say that she reminds them of their daughters or granddaughters or children or whatever. And it's really cute. It wins them over. Even the older guy Shige tears up a little bit. And they accept her. She's like, she's gonna live with the homeless guys for a while. It's really cute. Next day she's like getting more cans or whatever. Nita finds her and he sees her digging through the trash getting cans and stuff, and he's like, whoa. Hey, and he's like, listen, I only got I think he says I only got 40,000 yen on me, and he offers her money and she refuses, smacks it out of his hand. I don't need your charity kind of thing. She like starts to take it, but then she does that when she remembers like the other guys and how like you know they don't.
She's like, yeah, these guys, I can help them out with this money.
Yeah, she remembers them afterwards.
Sweet moment.
Yeah, she runs back. He gets back in the car and is leaving, and she like chases after him, and she doesn't ask for the money again, but he he stops and gets out and talks to her, and yeah, she actually overhears the others talking about aluminum prices dropping. That's why she chased after him, because they're gonna get less for their cans and shit. But he stands in front of her and he's like, well, listen, I was gonna give you the money anyway, and she doesn't say anything. She doesn't want to ask for it. She's a little proud.
In the English, she does say, she's like, I was just thinking, and I was wondering, could I? And she doesn't. She can't finish it.
Yeah, and he says, in the sub at least, he says money, and she goes, yeah. That's it.
The money, yeah. And he's like,
I was gonna give it to you anyway, and he gives her the 40,000. I don't see what it
matters is giving it to you anyway.
Yeah, and then she bows, and she doesn't stop bowing even after he's driving away. They look in the rear view, and she's still bowing, like she's so grateful. You know,
Anzi's such a good girl, man.
Oh, it's adorable. Just little. I mean, she's got some stuff, but she's very nice.
Yeah.
She is then immediately grabbed by Utako and the squad, and she says, "Wait, no, I have money this time." And Utako just snatches it from her and says, "Well, the total of everything was like it's something. I didn't write down how much it was. It was like 39,000 something. Here, I wrote down what she ended up with.
Yeah.
So it had to be like 39,000. Let's see, 340, something like that, because she ends up with 660 yen left once they're done with it. They do give her the change, which is nice of them, I guess. After they take out what she owed, and she gets back to camp. She gets back to the camp.
She had 360 yen and 34 cents, and now she has.
No, she had 40,000. Then she had 660.
Oh yeah, sorry.
It was over.
Yeah, sorry. I meant to say dollars.
Okay.
And now she has. Yeah. And now she has, because she had 40,000 yen, and that added up to that. And now she has $5.95 left over.
Hey man. I buy you a whole lot off the dollar menu.
Go get some of that.
Get some of them cups.
Some of that exquisite tea that Hina likes.
Get that. You know what you can get? Not just any ramen. Top ramen.
You could get 5 McDoubles.
You could get 5 McDoubles. Well, it depends on what the tax rate is, and also if a McDouble is actually 100 yen there. Anyway, what are we going to? Hell, she might get 6 McDoubles if it's 100 yen for a McDouble. Anyway, she ends up back at the camp. She's crying, but the others reassure her, and they tell her, "No, you're all square. You paid what you owed. Now you got a fresh start." Exactly, yeah. It's a fresh start. It's really nice. So then that's the end of that little scene. There's like a title card that's just like, I think it says Hinamatsuri, the name of the show, and then it's got like a picture of her like smiling, looking all happy. It's really nice, really, really cool stuff. Next bit is Hitomi Mishima, which is the girl from school, Hitomi. She is bookish and straight-laced, but at night, she becomes a bartender. I've dropped like 2 different song lyrics in here, and no one's caught them, I'm certain.
You don't know, man. Maybe they're still singing.
That first one was when they were going out the thing saying girly club. I said, it's much to the horror of the people on the street. Dee-da-dee-da-dee. People on the street. Y'all remember that one?
I remember it.
Is the terror of knowing what this world is about. All right. And then this one was a Billy Joel song. At night she becomes a bartender. She works at Mr. Catch-a-Toe. All right. Atako offered her 1,500 yen an hour to get a job there. She actually got her a nice little bar outfit, wants her to work there because she's so good at making these drinks. She picked it up so quick. And she offers her 1,500 yen an hour. She says, no middle school kid's making that much. And she refuses. She says, all right. Well, I didn't want to have to use this button. She pulls out her cell phone and shows her a picture.
Hey, that's pretty good. That's $13.51 an hour.
That's fucking real good.
Yeah.
I can't. Bitch making more than me.
That's a damn near living wage. That's more than Okay. So I would say hourly, that's more than I've ever made at any job that I've ever had. Other than whenever I worked at the bar. If you count in my tip share and
count
stuff.
Tips, yeah.
Because some nights I was making like $21 an hour.
I am currently employed by this job, so I will not say how much I make an hour, but that is more than I make an hour. And although I do also get commission on top of that. Too fucking long. Don't get me started on that goddamn job.
I'm just saying, 1,500. That is pretty good for
a goddamn 60-hour
not just a middle school student. That's pretty good for almost anybody.
That's pretty good for anybody, but also.
That's also for a bartending wage with tips on top of that.
That's real good shit.
Damn, son.
Yeah, she gonna be making bank. Anyway, she refuses. Utako blackmails her, shows her a picture on her phone that she took of her in this outfit, standing behind the bar. How would your school think if they saw this? And then homie's like, no! And she falls over like it's so dramatic. But then she pulls out her phone and reveals she's been recording the whole conversation. And it's a double blackmail, double blackmail, double betrayal, blackmail. It's really great. And Atako's like, no! And like, it's so dramatic and great. It's so fucking funny. Atako says, all right, how about this? Same time, we delete our info at the same time, and we just call it off. She's like, all right, fine. They agree. 1, 2, 3, boop. They both delete it. And then Atako just smiles at her. She's like, what? She already uploaded it to her PC. Mm-hmm. Dun, dun, dun. And so, as such, Hitomi is now blackmailed into working at this bar after hours.
Where she is apparently making bank.
She's making heavy bank. She actually talks about that later. But it's a pretty cool little series of scenes here. We see Old Man Tanaka and Sabu. It is Sabu, not Sobu. Damn it. Not Sabo is what I kept saying. It's Sabu. Damn it.
Oh, okay.
Damn it. I knew I had the name wrong. Son of a bitch. That's why I only write them down once they actually tell you what it is.
Right,
and I just
there,
completely
Sabu.
Yeah, and you were looking right, and you could have corrected me, you son of a bitch.
I
finally got one wrong, Roger. How's it feel? Drink it in, man.
I got my Chris Jericho shirt on.
You do have your Chris.
I got it in today. I freaking love it.
Fucking foolish. It is a cool ass shirt. He looks fucking ridiculous. I should get one of those. Anyway. Oh man, I got an email the other day about my my deep dope tank shipping.
Oh, nice.
I'm pretty psyched. Gotta catch me up here wearing that bitch. No, you won't always come here after work. All right. But anyway, Sabu is in fact Old Man Tanaka's son, and he tells him that he's drinking a daiquiri, and he tells Sabu, man, she made it perfect, even better than Atako does. And Atako's just like laughing, like nervously, like no way, right? Come on, I mean, I'm the bartender. Like, she didn't really. In the alley, we see the vice principal arguing with the teacher, who is in fact Hitomi's teacher. If you were paying attention at the beginning of this one, when he was again, like during that scene, he was teaching about the what do you call it? Those not actually demon things. The Hana. Namahage. And I'm like, all right. Anyway, but the vice principal is arguing with this teacher because he wants to keep drinking even though he's like drunk laying on the fucking ground in this alleyway. And teacher's like, listen, we gotta get home. And then the vice principal tells, oh, you sure? Because I was planning on lobbying for you to be the head teacher. And she's like, all right, let's party. Like, changes his tune real quick.
Oh my god, and the English one, dude, it's hilarious. He goes, he's like, I guess we can forget about it if you forget about the teaching position. Or no, he does. He says essentially what you said. He says, well, you were being considered for that
head
raise, head teacher or whatever. And he says, let's drink till we puke.
That's really great. I love the way they do these. Like every time they have a turnaround like that, they always say it like super dead face. Like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, let's
like,
drink till we puke.
It's so fucking funny. Like the way they cut to these different things. Anyway, they head into the bar. Hitomi freaks out immediately because she immediately recognizes that's her teacher. She goes to take his order and he freaks out as well, although she's doing this thing like she's trying to twist her face up some way so he can't recognize her. But he does, and he's like, she looks a lot like one of my students. And the vice principal says, well, if that's true, you can teach that head teacher position goodbye. That doesn't look good. And he goes, I'm mistaken. Nope, just a dead ringer. That's real funny.
Which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. How is that his
Because
fault?
that's his student. You let her... You're supposed to care about these kids. Why is she working at a bar? Obviously, that reflects more on the parents, but it does come back on him, too. That's a scam.
Well, how the hell
Scandal either way, baby.
How the hell is he supposed to know she's working at a bar?
Scandal either way, baby. Scandal either way. Anyway, But yeah, he says, no, that's definitely not her. And he isn't certain, but he's pretty sure that's her, but he doesn't say anything. He goes along with it. And Tanaka over down the bar, he says, you're mistaken, bud. No middle schooler could make like she does. And he's like, huh, all right then. Well, I'll tell you, he actually, when he's doing it, I'm sorry, there was a bit where he accidentally orders because he recognized her, and her name is Mishima. Mishima. And he sees her, and he's saying to himself, me, like when she takes his order, he goes, wait, you're $1 million. He orders $1 million.
Yeah,
which is really funny. And the other guy's like, no, there's no way she's a middle schooler. No middle schooler can make drinks like her. So he says, all right, fine, let's see it then. And she shakes up his drink. She is so pro. She's like, you see her like doing the little, holding that little, the little shot cup with like the two fingers and
looks like the hourglass or whatever. Yeah,
the little thingy. I don't know what the shit's called. Look, I drink the booze. I don't make it.
And she shakes the way she's shaking.
She's shaking it just right. Just right.
Just like a shake weight, dude.
Oh, doing it perfect. She's nailing it, dude. She pours it up, slides him your $1 million, sir. And he says, He's looking kind of skeptical, and he takes a drink. He goes, magnificent.
It's the best $1 million this fool's ever had.
It's perfect. He's horny for that drink. And Tanaka from down the bar, he says, you get it now? And he says, no, not yet. I mean, you can shake, sure, but I don't see any calluses on your finger. You haven't been handling a bar spoon. Let's see how you stir. And the regulars and Utako down there, they just laugh. They're chuckling at him like, yeah, right. And she just says, may I take your order then? And he says, I'll have a bartender, which is apparently a drink I've never heard of, nor have I heard of $1 million.
Yeah.
Fuck it. I know what daiquiri is. I like a mojito.
You should go try to order them. Just see what happens. Just go up to the bar next time and be like, can I get $1 million?
Yeah, see what that happens.
What about a bartender?
I want a bartender. Maybe you're looking for me. No, I
just want to point out.
Just go with an old fashioned.
Every episode I bitch about this damn dog. It is pouring rain outside right now.
And you can still hear it.
And the damn dog is still outside barking.
This fucking guy. All right. Anyway, on with the show. He orders his drink. She mixes it up. She does it perfect. He takes a sip. Impossible. He's blown away by her skill. He can't believe it. He says even the best bartenders at the fanciest bars I've been to can't mix this good. It's outrageous. He can't fucking believe it. And he says, well, I'll definitely be back. And there's a brief bit where Hitomi at the end of this, as the sun's rising, you get a little voiceover from her saying that her bank book that she opened up without her parents' knowledge is filling up very quickly. She is in fact making bank.
Yeah.
I will point out that the brief scene, like they give you another title card where it says Hinamatsuri and it has a picture of Hitomi this time. She's holding a badminton racket. All right.
Here you go, buddy. Before you go on, dude.
Is this how you make $1 million?
Here you go. Yeah, read off here.
I'm not gonna I don't know how to say some of these alcohols. Are you fucking kidding?
I worked at a bar, but I don't know what this word is.
Vermouth?
Is it vermouth?
You don't know how to say vermouth?
No, I didn't know what that was.
All right, you're like a little baby.
I read it like vermouth.
I mean, that is how it's spelled.
Yeah.
You really want me to read this off? All right. You serve it in a coupe glass. I'm definitely pronouncing most of this wrong.
And in the show, she had that.
She did have that same glass. She did it just right. I don't remember seeing a pineapple wedge, but whatever.
Okay. Yeah, I don't remember that either.
Yeah, it says here 2 fluid ounces root dry gin, 1 fluid ounce martini rosso sweet vermouth, half fluid ounce fresh pressed pineapple juice, 1/4 ounce Gift hard syrup grenadine. Ooh, grenadine. That's what gives it that red color. And a 1/2 ounce pasteurized egg white. Jesus.
Yeah. So that should have put hair on chest.
I fucking guess, dude. I don't know, man. That fancy ass glass. I don't know what it's gonna do, but it's gonna feel right. There was a. If we're talking about mixed drink, my personal favorite, I gotta look up the fucking name of it like a scrub because I forgot it. Hang on.
Hold on, I'm about to tell you guys how to make a bartender.
Yeah, look.
We're learning how to drink on here. Okay, here we go. The bartender is 1/2 part dry vermouth, 1/2 part gin, 1/2 part Dubonnet. Is that how you would say that? Dubonnet?
Dubonnet, sure.
Yeah. So
some
that's
sherry and some triple sec.
DUBONNET.
Roger, this is not the booze podcast.
One
I will
half
start
part
one of those.
sherry and 1 dash of triple sec, like Brandon said, and that is how you make a bartender. You fill in a mixing glass with ice cubes.
Jesus
add all the
Christ.
ingredients, stir, strain into a chilled cocktail glass. Damn, son, you're learning something new.
It does sound tasty. I tried to get into mixing drinks for a while, but like having all these different fucking alcohols you need is so expensive.
Talk to Kat.
Bitch, I ain't got money for that.
I bet she knows how to make both of those damn drinks.
Oh yeah, for sure. My current go-to is a Toronto, which is just a fucking rye old fashioned with a little bit of Fernet Branca in it. It's delicious. Gives it that real bitter taste.
I like
my soul, Roger. Like my bitter soul.
I like a whiskey cocktail. That is a whiskey and a Coca-Cola.
You don't even drink.
I barely do.
Not without pissing himself.
Oh my god.
I'm never gonna stop telling that story. Anyway, that was part 2.
You retired me.
That was literally the second part of this fucking episode. We got a whole nother episode after this last bit. Let's get to it. God almighty, I'm so sorry,
Put
everybody.
the jets on, man. We're going into turbo mode. We still
I'm
got
so
some questions
sorry,
to answer.
All right, so let's see. Hina. We see Hina now. She snags a meatball off of Nita's plate as they're eating because he has an extra one than her.
Hey, you have an extra meatball.
Yeah.
No fair.
And then as he continues eating, he's like, hey, why don't you try being homeless for a while like Anzu? She's doing all right for herself despite it. Maybe I should let her live here for a while. And she's like, what? Yeah. And then this is the one that got me. She has a nightmare. And she's like, she sees Nita and Anzu coming out of a very fancy building, dressed very, very nice, really fancy restaurant. Her arms, she's wrapped around his arm as they're walking, and they're laughing and talking. And then you see Hina sitting on the sidewalk with a little like hat on, and she's like clearly she's got like a little cup, and she's like, spare some change.
Yeah.
And I was like, no.
In the English, she said something like crumbs for the poor.
Yeah. Alms for the poor, maybe.
Yeah.
Something like that. Oh my god. And then she like wakes up in bed.
Yeah, that's a nightmare.
That was the scene where I like wanted to jump through the TV and just give her a hug. That's the one that got me. The show's very cute. You know how I feel. Hit me with that cute shit.
Yeah.
But like that's the one where I was like, no. Anyway. That shit was adorable. Anyway. She has this nightmare. Later, she's being extra nice. She gives Nita her extra meatball this time because he went ahead and gave her the extra
Nita,
meatball.
Here's an extra meatball.
Yeah. As he's leaving, she bows and sees him off. And then
Nita's a little freaked out too. He's like, what's going on here?
What the hell? and then
what the hell?
She then the next bit. She walks out. She's got the vacuum. She's got a bucket. She's got clean supplies. She's wearing an apron, gloves, and a headband. She is about to clean this fucking house. She imagines what it would be like when he comes home.
The daydream is so great.
The daydream's so good because like everything's spotless and sparkling. And he like walks in and he goes, "What? I can't believe it. What happened?" And she's like, "Oh, she's cleaning up." And he like falls down and he's like crying. And she's like, "What? Are you sad?" And he's like, "No, you can cry when you're happy too." It's like, dude.
But she does it like... I don't know how to describe it. It's so hard to describe Hina's emotions.
Because she's just so deadpan.
She's very similar to like Tina from Bob's Burgers.
Or like... is
that the right character?
Yeah. Or she kind of reminds me of from Agretsuko. Fucking Finico.
Oh, yeah.
She's always like, ha 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 ha. Like she doesn't have any...
Oh,
her primary emotion is just... solid nothing. Her primary emotion is nothing.
The daydream is freaking great though.
Daydream's great. Yeah, it's really cute.
She's like, me? I didn't.
This is so good though, because she like decides she's gonna clean. She starts with a vacuum, plugs it in, starts like she's going down this one section of the room, and she's like and she's like nailing it, and then like boonk, if she goes too far, the cord unplugs. She's just like and just throws it away.
Yeah.
Like she just throws it to the side, like, well, done with this. And then she's trying to like oh god, hang on, I wrote this down because I want to make sure I got it all right. Okay, cord's too short. She then is trying to dust, and she's being very careful. She knocks a vase over. She's like, whoop, and catches it. But then another one starts falling. She's like, whoop, and like grabs that one with her psychokinetic powers and stuff. And then she's like, and then she like starts to put this one up, but it tips over. She's like, what? And grabs it with both hands, and the other vase drops. She ends up breaking the vase. Big bummer. And she's like, "Aw," and she stands up, knocks over the water bucket as she does. There's just water all over the floor now. And she's like, "Oh, I'll worry about it later." And then she has the comforter that she's gonna take and put out on, to air it out. Yeah. She's gonna like flap it off the balcony, and she takes and just hucks it out the window, off the balcony. It just goes sailing, fucking halfway to Shibuya or some shit. It's fucking great. And then she's like, and she goes, she's like, "I need a break," and she goes to the refrigerator, and in the very back behind some like beers and stuff, she finds a large bowl full of salmon roe that says rewards for Hina or something like that. And she's like, "Oh, I deserve a reward." And she just like grabs it and starts chowing down. At the office, we see the boss is back. Nita says Hina's been acting weird, and they say, she's probably just growing up.
Does she not make a note about the salmon roe there?
Not quite yet, just that she's eating. Oh, she does say it tastes funny.
Yeah, it tastes funny.
It tastes different, yeah.
Yeah.
And they say, "Oh, she's probably growing up. You should get her a reward. She's trying to be a good kid." And she says, "I do have a reward ready for her, but it's been there so long and there hasn't been anything to reward her for. I think it's gone bad." Oh, fuck.
Yeah, he definitely, in the English one, he definitely says it's gone sour.
Yeah. Back at the apartment, Hina is trying to wash the dishes with her power. She's pulling all the dishes off one by one, fucking Mickey Mouse, like bringing the brooms to life style.
Yeah,
lifting them in a line, Fantasia style. They're coming off the stack in the cupboard, which means they're already clean. They're in the fucking cupboard, Hina. But she lifts them all out and one by one passes them under the water, and then is moving them back that way when she feels like, and she's like, "Oh,
I feel so good,
my tummy." And then she just falls over. All the dishes drop. They're all broken. She has this horrible cramp. We then see Nita arriving home with he gets to the door, opens it, and lifts up a little package that says Sushi King on it. And she's like, "I'm home." Credits. You don't get to see the fallout.
Yep.
But damn, it's going to be bad.
Well, episode 4, the first half of it is called Disownment.
And the second half we'll get to.
Yep.
Nita is chiding Hina. She is she's like on the ground. This is after all that went down. He actually says here in the subtitle anyway, he says, "I left the apartment the way it was until you got out of the hospital." He did take her to the hospital for this like food poisoning.
Yeah.
Apparently. But he didn't fix anything. And she's like, she's all sad. And he's like, "That's it. I've had enough. I'm disowning you." And he sends her out of the house, out of the apartment with a backpack. And I like this one because he says, "And don't try threatening me with your powers. It's already a disaster up in here." He does say "up in here," which I thought was cute. And then
in the English one, he just says, "I'm not afraid of you anymore." Yeah.
Okay. I like this one better. Anyway, he kicks her out, closes the door. That's it. She's just standing outside in the hallway with this backpack, and she goes over to the intercom thing and clicks it. And like you hear it click on, and she goes, "I'm sorry," and he just goes, "So?" Like that's fucking it. Oh no. We then see Hina like she's hanging out. She's walking and she has a little bit of money, and she's like, "Oh, I'm hungry," and she imagines all this fancy food.
Yeah, he gives her,
and then she blows it all immediately.
10,000 yen,
something like that, and she blows all the money immediately, so fast. That's like $90, right?
Yeah, it's close.
I think it's like $90. But yeah, blows all that money just instantly.
$90.09.
Oh man, I should go on Japanese prices right, because I nailed that one. That's dumb. That's not how that works. You don't talk about exchange rates. How much is a rice-a-roni worth, Brandon? All right. She blows through all that money immediately, and then she's sitting by the river, and she's like, "What do I do now? I don't know." And then she just whips out a DS and starts to turn it on.
Playing her DS.
She like whips out a DS, and then right then Anzu finds her, and she says she takes her with her and says she could stay with her. She takes her to the to her little homeless hideout hut. So then, excuse me. As she's like staying there, she goes to sleep. This was a really great scene where she's like, they're going to sleep like on this little bedroll together, and Hina's laying there, and she like Anzu's on her back, Hina's on her side, and Hina rolls over in her sleep and just bam, like elbows are right in the fucking
snoring
throat.
Loudly too.
Yeah, and she flips over and just nails this girl in the fucking throat with her elbow. It's like so hardcore.
Did she say anything in the Japanese?
I honestly don't remember, but she says something. She
says, "Oh, my jugular."
Okay, she doesn't say that, but she does say something. Like I think it was just like ow, or like she has something to say about it. She's like, God damn it. She's like, God damn it, Hina. God damn it, Hina. Anyway. Hina doesn't wake up in the morning. She also then like zips her up into a sleeping bag so she can't wiggle and hit her again. Yeah. Which is really adorable. Anzu gets up in the morning to go on her daily grind. She tries to wake up Hina. Hina doesn't wake up. So she goes, she's finding magazines and selling them to this guy who recycles magazines. She's getting cans and selling his cans, getting a little bit of money. She comes back to find Hina is eating her food. And she says, like, seriously, what are you doing? Like, you're eating all my food, it costs money and stuff. And she's like, are you even trying to, like, are you going to try to go back home or what? Like, she already explained, like, that she got kicked out. And this is a great bit. She says, have you even thought about what you'll do? And she goes, well, yeah, but the game's battery already ran out. And she holds up the DS. She already ran out of battery. That's what she was going to do.
Yeah, she's going to play some more DS.
So fucking good. Like, that's the thing. Like, we were saying it's, like, hard to describe what's going on here because, like, she's so... At times, she's adorable. At times, she is kind of mean. At times, she is just outright selfish. She's a child.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. She really is just a little baby kid. She doesn't know how to act around people. And also, apparently, she may have been living a real shitty life in this other place, wherever she came from.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll find out about that.
She's in middle school, so she's like an early teen, but
yeah, she's still like a little baby child though. Like the other kids even said, she looks like a school kid. She looks younger than them. Like I think she's definitely meant to, even though they're about the same height. I think she's meant to be younger than Anzu anyway.
Yeah.
But anyway, we then see Nita enjoying a drink. Hinata, sorry, what was her name? Hitomi? No, Hinata.
Yeah, Hitomi?
No, Hitomi.
Yeah.
I definitely wrote down Hinata. It's another Hin name, so I definitely did that wrong. Hitomi comes by with a school handout for Hina. He gives her, Nita gives her some line about her being with family and whatnot, and
yeah, it's a personal issue.
Yeah, personal issue. Well, she says in the sub he says she's with my family or something like that.
He says that, and then it's a personal issue.
So then Hitomi's like thinking about that as she's walking home. She's like, yeah, I mean, that can be kind of rough, family stuff. And then she's like grabbed by Utako, who grabs her and says, hey, help me out. Like she's over at the park doing like some kind of soup line for like the homeless and whatnot. And this is the part I had to rewind 3 fucking times because it made me laugh so goddamn hard. Is Utako's like handing out food to these people, and she pours a bowl and she looks down and she sees Hina, and Hina just goes, feed me. And she goes, and she screams. She's like, Hina-chan. She's like, hey, Utako, what are you doing here? Feed me. That shit was so fucking funny. I'm like, that's her only response. Feed me. That shit's adorable. And then Utako also sees Anzu and freaks out about that too. She goes over to Hitomi and says, hey, do you know what's going on here? Do you know what's up with Hina? And then later at the bar, Nita is there talking to the regulars and Utako, and he admits that he disowned her, and he gets a lot of dirty looks, even a couple of randos at the other end of the bar.
He's catching flag, dude. Yeah,
catching a lot of flag.
He's like,
who are these guys? They're like looking at him like, and he's like, who even are these people?
He was asking if in the English one, do these extras even have names?
That's so good. That's really good. But yeah, man, he's getting a lot of dirty looks. Sabu just shakes his head at him. He literally just does the thing where he's like, what? I mean, it's not like I'm getting anything out of it. And Atako's like, getting anything? He says no merit is what he says in the sub. In the sub, and she says no merit. You're supposed to be taking care of her. You're not supposed to get anything out of it, kind of thing. And Sabo just like claps him on the shoulder and just goes. Just shakes his head at him, which is a really great move, I thought. And then everybody runs him off. Even the rando at the other end of the bar is like, "You call yourself a parent?" And he's like, "No, I don't." And they ended up like running him off anyway, telling him, "Go away, go away." And he seems like he sheds a single Yakuza tear, and then he just runs out. Atako then, this is a great scene where she's like, "Hitomi, the salt." And she gives her the salt, and she just runs to the door, like very comically. It's just so fast, and just throws the salt on the floor.
Hucks the salt.
Yeah.
And then she says, "Sabu, you have to pay for his drink."
Yeah, it's because it's like she's the one in charge is the thing. So she's like, "Hitomi, the salt." Yes, and she gives it to him. She like runs out, throws it, and then she's like, "Sabo," and he's like, "Yeah," like she's gonna have something for him to do. And she's like, "Pay for his drink."
Hey, you have to pay for Nita's drink.
And he's like, "Aw." This is really good. I love that shit. But yeah, the whole like she salts the door because that's what you do with unwanted guests. You got to throw off that bad juju. It's fucking great. Anyway, back at home, he convinces himself that he doesn't really care. He doesn't really care. She's doing fine. It's not really his concern or anything. But then he does notice that he's sitting in the single seat as opposed to the couch where he normally would be.
I've developed some weird habits.
Well, in this one, he says he's sitting in the single sitter is what he says, which of course is the daddy chair.
Yeah,
sitting in the daddy chair.
He says the single sitter or whatever in the English too.
But yeah, he sitting in the daddy chair is what I said. All right, meanwhile Anzu back at the little hobo hideout. Why do I call it that? The homeless hideout. It's not better. She's upset that Hina is
shack in the park.
Hina is just like straight up leeching off of her. She's burning her candles. Hey, those cost money. She's reading a magazine. We could have sold that for money. She's eating all her chips. Hey, you're out of chips. You got any more chips? No, I don't have any more chips. You ate all the chips. She's like really bummed out. And she ends up pulling Anita and kicking her out. Hina wanders around and she stops at this shop and she sees a vase in there, not a particularly fancy one, a very cheap vase.
2,900 yen.
Well, we find out later how much it costs. They didn't have a price.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, anyway, there was a price right under it.
Okay, but she's looking at this vase.
That is $26.12.
Not terribly expensive. She's thinking to herself, man, this all started because I broke that vase. But then she hears this music and she hears this band performing, and we see this small band, a guitar, bassist, drummer, and the vocalist. They do have some kind of power source because they're plugged in and singing on amps and whatnot. But it's some band and they're performing in the street band and they're getting a little bit of money. Atsushi is the main guy, who is the dude with the rock shirt who did appear very briefly at the very beginning of the first episode. So I'm like, who's this guy? He's also in the closed credits, so like he matters, I guess. She sees people giving him money and she's kind of like, oh hey. So then she says, hey, I got a question for you, and she talks to Atsushi for a second. Later, Nita is at the park. He's talking to himself kind of. He says, well, I mean, I don't want her to die because of me. It's not like I really care. But then Anzu walks up on him and he's like, oh, I'm just taking a walk. He's like, taking a walk just means standing in front of a park now? Okay. And he says, hey, and she actually says, hey, about Hina. And he's like, oh, what? And he says something like, what, are you going to give me crap for throwing her out too? And he's like, not really. I just really don't get how you put up with her for so long. Like, she's on his side,
yeah, she
kind of.
said, I only lasted 3 days with her.
Mm-hmm. Rough stuff. But, yeah, she doesn't know how to put up with her for so long. Meanwhile, we then see Hina on that same street as that band was, putting on a magic show, levitating stuff into the air. She gets some cash, and then she's approached by Atsushi again, who says, "Hey, we had an idea for you." Oh, he says, "Hey, usually we're the biggest, we get the biggest crowds here, but you're taking all the business. But we had an idea for you." He's like got a plan or something because she's got these cool magic tricks, which are in fact just psychic power.
No strings here, folks.
Yeah, in the subtitle she says, "I have nothing up my sleeve," and she's like floating this shit in the air. It's really cool. This damn kid.
She's great, dude. She's such a great character.
Yeah. As this is happening, Sabo spots her and gives Nita a call. And as he shows up, he sees her assisting with the music by lifting Atsushi into the air, along with some props and these little like golden balls and stuff, as he's lifted skyward as an angel, which is the lyric that he sings at the end of this bit. It's pretty cool. The crowd is there. They're going fucking nuts. The air is vibrating around these people. It's that intense. The cops actually show up because it's like, hey, you need a permit if you're going to have that big a crowd. And they're throwing money, and it's great. They're making all the money. And, yeah, it's really cool. Nita sees all this, and he's just like, he's kind of sullen. He's like, she's doing fine. And he goes home. Later, the band and Hina are at a restaurant. They're getting drinks. She's having a juice. And she says, hey, I gotta talk. And they're like, what's wrong, Hina? And she's like, I'm leaving the band. And I'm like, you just fucking got here.
It's so dumb, dude.
It's so good. It's so fucking good.
Hey, I'm leaving the band. And then the guy stops her. He's like, but we just started. And the other guy's
like, we could go all the way. We could go to the tippy top.
He goes, look in her eyes.
Look in her eyes, man. And then she's got some unfinished business. The guitarist.
They pan back to her face, and it's the same damn face that she always
same
had.
Just deadpan.
Yeah.
It's so fucking good. It's like it's so good because it looks like something out of like one of those fucking MTV, like a rock star or something, those MTV movies. Yeah. Like, oh, the band's breaking up. No. But it's like, no, that's a little kid. She's been here for one show.
His face is a little more detailed than Saitama's from One Punch Man. Slightly, but you know how Saitama always has that same face other than his super intense face or whatever?
Yes.
But his normal face, just that same
that's just
damn
what she
face.
looks like.
Yeah.
She's just like...
It's just Hina.
She's just deadpan. She like has... like it's just blank. There's nothing there. You can tell there's nothing going on. I love this. I love her. I love this stupid show. But yeah, it's really great. But yeah, he does. Atsushi tries to stop her, says we could be huge, but the guitar stops, says nah, she's got some unfinished business. And then at the bar,
look in her eyes.
Yeah, we at the bar, Nita tells Atako that she's doing fine, but he's still banned, and she kicks him out again. He goes home to find Hina is waiting in the hall. She apologizes and offers him a new vase. It only costs 2,900 yen. Which
he even asks her. He's like,
looks cheap.
Yeah, it looks cheap. How much did this cost you?
Yeah, it was very cheap. And he just walks past her and then opens the door, and she's like, oh. And then he says, well, what are you waiting for? We're going home. And he lets her in. It's very sweet. The next morning, she's leaving for school. She actually slams the door. She's like, don't slam the door. And then as he's cleaning up the table from where they ate breakfast, you can it zooms in past him on the shelf where he keeps all of his prized vases, and right in the middle, that cheap-ass vase. Oh,
it's touching. It's
very
cheap-ass vase.
That cheap-ass vase. It's very cute. Nice, it's very cute. It's very, very cute. I like that one. All right. Last little bit of this one. Which, I mean, that the whole thing is called, what's it called? Disownment / Rock and Roll Fever.
Rock and Roll Fever.
Yeah, that's the whole name of the episode. So that they kind of like was that one. And then there's like this extra story at the end kind of with Hitomi.
Yeah, it's very short.
Yeah, at the bar, Hitomi is offering a kind ear to her patrons. And like this one guy that we haven't seen before, he's talking about how... people don't want to be friends with him because he says, because I'm a yak, which I think, like he talks too much or something.
You have seen him before.
Have I?
Yeah. He was in he's in all of the Yakuza meetings.
Oh, is that Chubbo? Is that Chief? The guy who gives him the gun? Or is he like another guy in those meetings?
It's not the old guy. It's not the head.
Not the head guy, but the guy with the glasses. Yes. Yeah, I just didn't recognize him. It's Chubbo, but they call him Chief. He calls him Chief a couple times.
And Yak is short for Yakuza, yeah.
Okay. I just totally missed that. Wow. But he's like kind of bummed out about it. And Hitomi, just like the best bartenders ever, just like my good buddy Kat, she'll listen to you and talk to you. She says, well, I think about it like, your real life is out there, but in here, you can be honest with yourself. That's what the bar's all about. And he's like, yeah, you're right. And he leaves a huge tip. We also see Matsutani, the teacher, there again. And he's crying. He actually burst into tears because he's saying that I just don't think my students, I don't know how to help my students. I don't know what I can do. I'm trying so hard. And she says, listen, I'm sure there are students who recognize your hard work. And he actually starts crying. It's really pleasant. Even Atako opens up a little bit as Hitomi's cleaning up, talking about her experience in the bar. As the sun rises, she spots Anzu collecting some cans, and she's shocked at the state of this girl. She's like, this girl's so young. Why is she collecting cans? What's going on here? And she says, hey, do you want to come with me? Let me show you something. And Anzu's like, I don't know. Yasan told me not to follow strangers. She's like, who's this Yasan guy? What's up with this kid? Is she okay? Like, she's actually, like, concerned about her a little bit. So she tells her, listen, I know where you can find lots of cans. And she says, where? Like, she's actually really into that one. Leads her to the back of a shop where Abe is smoking and he says, hey, Abe, you get a lot of cans with your job, right? It's like, yeah, we get a lot of empty cans. And there's like a pile, just piles of these bags of empty cans. And she says, well, my friend Anzu here is collecting cans. Can she have some? He says, I don't know. I'm not supposed to. And Hitomi says, well, you know, your boss comes into the bar a lot. Your manager drinks at the bar a lot. I'm sure you wouldn't want me to tell him how you're slacking off back here all day, would you? Just straight up blackmails this dude, and he's like, all right, you got me. You can take the cans as long as I'm here. And she takes some cans, and Anzu wants to repay Hitomi for doing her this good service, so she says, why don't you come over as thanks? And Hitomi is like extra freaked out when she finds out that yes, Anzu is in fact and Yasan, who she meets, are in fact homeless and living here in this park. And she's like, oh, Jesus. Hitomi gets her some good noodles, the good kind, which cost a total 200 yen. These are the really good noodles.
That's $1.80.
Yep. Hitomi can't bear, and she also says, you know, on a good day, I'll make about 600 or 700 yen in a day. Anzu saying this, talking about collecting cans and stuff, and Hitomi can't bear to tell her that she makes so much more money than that. You know, but she actually thinks to herself, I make more than that in
under half an hour.
Yeah, more than that in under less than half an hour. Yeah, and she at one point she actually says to herself, oh, this is heavy. Like, it's really good. Anzu wants to hang out for a bit, some more. She says, like, you know, she never had like any real friends or anything. Do you want to hang out? And she's like, well, mostly I just want to go home and sleep. She's been like she was at school, then she went to the bar. She hasn't been home to sleep yet, and it's daytime again. And but she says, yeah, she'll go ahead and play along. So they play tag, and they're hanging out. And Anzu is way too fast, and Hitomi is way too tired. And eventually, as she's chasing her, Hitomi just like kind of stops in the park. And Anzu's like, huh? Hey, are you okay? And she turns around. It's this very serene scene where you just see her standing there, and she's like, whoa. And she walks up, and she's like, what the hell? She fell asleep.
Yeah.
Standing there.
While she's running too, she says, oh, tag is so freaking stupid.
That's really good. And I don't think she said that. Or maybe she did say that in the sub and I just missed it. But yeah, this shit's hilarious. The show's great. That's episode 4. I love it. I can't wait to watch the rest of it. It's good times.
Yep.
Good shit.
That's all it, right, man. We got some questions.
So next week we're going to go over the next 4 episodes, 5 through 8. And then after that, 9 through 12. And we'll be finished with this one. We'll talk about some MHA. But let's talk about some questions.
And then after we talk about some MHA...
We gotta figure out a new thing.
I'll tell you what we're going to be talking about. Fooly Cooly Alternative.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Starts tomorrow.
It does indeed. Well,
it starts tomorrow. So you guys set it down. By tomorrow, I mean the time you're hearing this, if it's just audio, it starts today.
Oh, yeah.
And if you're watching it on YouTube, it started yesterday.
So deal with it. You already missed it, bud. Check the adultswim.com. All right.
They're putting all the other ones up for free.
But right now... We got some questions.
Our good buddy Clayton.
Oh, shit, Clayton.
Our good buddy Clayton.
The boy's back. All right.
Should more anime be made based on original ideas instead of playing it safe as anime adaptations or of manga or light novels, visual novels, etc.?
I don't know, man.
I think the manga and stuff, light novels, all of it comes from an original idea.
Sure.
But I think, you know, of course what he's asking is, should they go straight from the brain to anime?
I don't think...
And I seriously can't recite any anime that has done that.
Like,
I don't have
that's
any
the thing.
on
I don't
top
really,
of my head. Yeah.
I don't... I definitely am not as engrossed enough in this to know that, like, this one's based on a manga, this one's based on a light novel, this one's based on, you know, nothing.
I mean, I don't think it really matters what it's from. It's just what he's saying is, would you prefer that, or do you think that should more of it come straight from the brain to anime as straight to the brain, then source material, then anime?
Me personally, I think if I was more like engrossed in the culture and shit, like if I was reading more mangas and stuff, then I might have an opinion on that, like because I've already seen this, I already know about
movies,
this.
Though,
but no, movies is different for me because I definitely do want more original ideas in movies. I'm tired of seeing remakes and sequels.
But it's the same thing. It's the books are almost always better to people.
Well, typically, but like the difference there is that this is animes, which are pretty much always like based like several episodes, so they have more time to do more stuff with it. Whereas a movie is like maybe 2-3 hours.
It's similar to
it's
something
a really
like
long one.
Game of Thrones,
I guess.
How's that?
Well, I mean, I never read those books. I don't give a shit. I wouldn't experience any of that if it weren't for the TV show, so I'm fine with it. Like, that's the thing. It just depends on, like, it's one of those things where it's all about personal preferences and stuff. I do think, like, that's why I was saying, like, if I was more engrossed in the culture, I would have a different opinion. Just like with movies, I definitely care more that stuff's more original, because most of the shit I've seen that's based on movies and stuff is, like, not even that great, or based on books, I mean.
Yeah.
Is either not as good as the book or anything. There is one movie that's as good as the book, and that's To Kill a Mockingbird, classic. Anyway, but yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I think I'd have more of an opinion on that if I was reading more mangas and reading these light novels. If I was experiencing all that stuff firsthand, and then also, they're making a show about that. Whatever, I already read it. Like, then I would probably care.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't really have an opinion. I couldn't tell you one anime I've seen that is for sure not based on anything, because I just don't know.
I can tell you tons of things that I know for sure that came from a manga or a light novel.
And like most of the stuff I really like, I find is based on mangas and light novels.
Yeah,
fucking Violet Evergarden was.
Let me see.
I'm really glad that exists.
Let me see.
Fucking Hanebado is based on a manga.
Anime not based on anything. There we go.
Okay.
Let's see what we got here. Top 10 anime. It says not based on manga.
Go for it.
Okay.
Turns out they're all based on light novels.
Oh wow. I'm actually kind of shocked by some of this. Now this is from Watch Mojo, so
give it to me. Start at number 10.
Number 10, Puella Magi Madoka Magica.
Madoka Magica.
Yeah.
I tried to watch that and didn't get into it.
Number 9, Pokemon.
That makes sense.
Number 8.
I mean, which came first, the game or the movie? This thing. I'm pretty sure the game first, right? But then all that, I mean...
the game... This says 1997, so yeah, the game definitely came first. The game
that's one of those things where, like... Yeah, it's not based on a manga. It is based on the game. But, like, that's fine, I guess. But then even then, the game's based on, like, fucking gachapon machines. So who gives a shit?
Pokemon started off not as a manga, but as an anime and a video game franchise. Okay, yeah.
I still love them Pokemans. That's all I know.
Okay, number 8, Wolf's Rain.
I don't care.
Kind of surprising still, though.
Could not get into that show. Don't care.
It could say include a manga and
it can say the next ones can be fucking Witch Hunter Robin and Lane, and I wouldn't care either.
Number 7, Gurren Lagann.
Okay, that I do care about. That one's amazing. You still haven't seen it. Fuck you, Roger.
It's just great that you're saying the next one I'm not going to care. No.
What I was saying was I don't care about Wolf's Rain. If the next ones were Witch Hunter Robin and Lane, I wouldn't care either, because I don't care about those shows. That's what I was saying. Gurren Lagann's great though.
May spawn adaptation sequels across the anime board because it's mainly. Yeah, so I guess that one wasn't. Number 6, Samurai 7. Now, that's
based on.
That's based on a movie.
Okay,
it's based on a classic story.
Next. Yeah. We're both just waving our hands dismissively right now.
Number 5, Samurai Champloo.
All right, I'm down with it. I was thinking to myself, is Cowboy Bebop based on a thing?
Yeah, I can see that, right? As a unique story of its own. Number 4, Paranoia Agent.
I do like Paranoia Agent. That one's fun. Good old Satoshi Kon. He crazy as hell.
Number 3, Code Geass.
Still haven't seen that.
Rebellion.
Still haven't Lelouch, I think.
Lelouch.
I still haven't seen that. I actually have it on my watch list. I was planning to, because it's so at some point. Huge. People love it, and apparently it's got some really great cliffhangers. And I'm like, oh man.
All right, well, number 2, Darker Than Black.
I don't know what that is.
This wasn't what I said. All right, I saw the number 1 just now.
Was it?
Number 2 is Darker Than Black, which is a good anime.
I don't know.
It is a good anime. Here's some honorable mentions: Fooly Cooly.
Okay.
Kill la Kill.
Sure.
Serial Experiments Lane. Tenchi Muyo Ryoki. Don't Serial Experiments Lane. Ungo. I have not seen that one.
It's like the third time I've Serial Experience Lane this episode, and you didn't notice the first two.
And number 1.
Is it like Cowboy Bebop or something?
It's Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Okay. Well, there you go.
All right, so I would say that judging by this list,
I do in fact like things based on original IPs.
Yeah, I do quite like Roger, these anime,
and I like an original IP. Thank you very much.
There are things like, okay, so Full Metal...
but also like Asobi Asobase is based on a manga, and it's fucking hilarious.
Full Metal Alchemist got 2 series. The first one was very good, and the manga wasn't finished. It followed it very close. It wasn't finished, so they had to do their own ending.
And then they did their...
And it was very fun. I liked it a lot. And then they did Brotherhood, which followed it very close, and it was very good. I like that. All I care about, I guess there's no real preference to me as long as it is good.
Yeah, I don't think I give a shit. I mean, again, if that's one of those, again, if that was the thing where, like, if we were talking about movies, like we said, and it's like, would you rather have another movie based on some book like, or like an original thing? I would definitely go original.
Some people hate the end of Full Metal Alchemist, the original one. They hate that.
And I thought it was okay. Yeah, I thought it was weird, but okay.
There's like, I can think of like Samurai Deeper or something like that. You probably haven't seen that, but
nope.
The manga was pretty good, and the anime is trash. It is one of the worst animes.
Is it boo-boo garbage?
It's terrible, dude.
All right,
it's terrible. Rurouni Kenshin, Samurai X had a different ending. Now they're redoing it. They did do a movie for it. It was very sad.
I saw a thing about them redoing that.
You know, encapsulated. So.
But like not good,
I would
right?
say that I have no real preference to it. Just I would like it to be good.
Sure, as long as it's good. Who gives a shit?
But you know, if they want to take it straight to from brain to anime, that makes it comes out faster for me to watch, and my preferred method is to watch it. So yeah, there's that.
Like I just that's my whole thing is like if I was reading so many mangas and seeing all this stuff and I already knew all these stories, would I want to see it again? But now it moves. I'm like, maybe not. Maybe I would have a bigger opinion, but I don't.
Okay.
Because I don't.
Next question. Thank you, Clayton. That was a great question.
That was a
buddy.
good question, Clayton.
Thank
you so much.
And that list was rather shocking. Once again, that was Watch Mojo, not us. Our next question is
my
from our
top 10.
Good buddy, Christy. She asked if you haven't already answered this question, which I don't think we actually have. Who's your favorite My Hero Academia character? Who is your favorite? Who is number 1?
It's impossible. Don't make me choose. It's
Mineta, right?
Don't make me choose between my beautiful babies.
It's Mineta, right?
My beautiful guys and gals.
It's gotta be Mineta.
Mineta's definitely at the bottom of the list.
Look at this great picture.
That fucking picture you showed me. Come on in. I got something amazing to show you. You're the fucking worst. I can't deal with Mineta, so I can't tell you who's my favorite. I can tell you who's my least favorite. No, yours is definitely Mineta, right?
No, he's not my favorite character.
It's not your favorite. You just love him. You just like him a lot.
Not my favorite.
I would probably...
I do like him a whole lot, though. It's hard for me to pick.
That's really tough.
Okay. I'll go ahead and pick. Right now, it's All Might. I love All Might. I freaking love him, dude. I'm in love with him.
I mean, just fucking pick...
I'm going to get married to All Might.
Yeah, and your favorite Dragon Ball character is Goku. Yeah. Like, too obvious.
Oh, fuck off, dude.
Too obvious.
Goku is not... All Might is not the main character.
All Might's the Goku of that show.
He's not the main character.
Okay.
All Might is the Roshi, dude.
He literally is the Roshi. He's scrawny and then he has a thing where he get big.
He's the Roshi, dude. The Roshi.
Fuck you. All right. I really don't think I can pick. I would probably, if I had to pick one...
Is it Momo? I love Momo. She's great.
Momo's pretty great. No. They're all great. I'd probably go with, like...
Mount Lady.
Mount Lady's amazing. I'll go with Aizawa. Aizawa's really cool.
Okay, yeah. Eraser?
Mostly just because, like, if I...
Or Eraser Head?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd probably go with Aizawa. He's super cool. He's very stern, but also like, you know, obviously gives you shit.
Well, we both picked teachers. Now we have to pick students.
Okay, that's how we'll do it.
I'm throwing that on
you. How about this? Start over. Favorite teacher, favorite student, favorite villain.
Okay.
And then favorite character who's like none of those and not in the main cast.
Okay, favorite teacher.
Like from another school or something.
Favorite teacher is for sure All Might.
Okay.
I would say top number 1 is All Might. I love All
overall?
Might.
Okay.
Yes. Favorite villain is Stain. I freaking love Stain.
Yeah. I mean,
hero killer.
He doesn't, but like that's his thing, right? He doesn't even consider himself a villain.
Well, no, he doesn't, but he is a villain.
I mean, certainly.
He's an antagonist. Favorite from another
You sure it's not Deadpool? You sure you don't love Deadpool?
What's his name? Twice, yeah. Favorite person from other school? You know what? I really, really like what's her name? Her quirk is Zoom, the little techie girl.
Yeah.
I really like her.
Shit, what is her name? It's in my notes.
Yeah, I had my thing pulled up for her.
It's gonna make me
also,
feel
my
bad.
boy M. Bison. He's pretty sweet too.
Good old M. Bison.
Definitely something going on with Endeavor there. By the way.
Oh yeah, man.
BT
We'll get to
dubs.
talk about that. Oh my god, I'm in Legends of the Galactic Heroes here.
Yeah, all these fucking notes.
Oh, who's gonna find it first? We're both looking.
I'm going right now. I'm going so fast. People are probably yelling her name at the top of the screen. There are a lot of characters in this, to be fair. So, Mei Hatsumi.
Yep, Hatsune.
Yep.
I found it right when you said it.
There she is.
Never heard of you. Still my favorite
Never
line.
heard of you.
Still my favorite line from that episode. From the so far this season, favorite line. Yeah, she's great. All right.
And then favorite student.
Not from another school though. I mean, is not from Class 1A.
Yeah, she's not from Class 1A.
Okay.
So yeah.
So we're saying Class 1A, not from hero villain. Class 1A, not from Class 1A.
Okay, and my favorite student, dude.
Teachers, what I said. Yeah.
Favorite student. I don't know. I really like Momo.
It's really tough.
I really like Momo a lot.
Okay.
Oh, dude, I like all these characters so equally.
Yeah, they're
even
all really
Mineta,
great.
dude. Maybe I'm gonna go for Tokiami because I really do like
Tokiyami's
Tokiami.
pretty rad.
Him and his freaking sword and his skulls.
All right, if I gotta pick,
He's a weeb, dude.
All right, I already said teacher is definitely Aizawa. Villain, is there like a villain section on here?
Yeah, there's tons.
There's gotta be, right?
There's all the characters, baby.
Oh yeah, Jesus Christ, this is a lot of. There's that fucking guy. Jesus, that fucking guy. Man, that's a lot of people. Pro heroes.
Dude, in the
okay, favorite pro hero besides All Might. Give me that one. Mine's definitely Mount Lady. No, it's Best Genius. That fool wears his fucking pants all the way up to his ears.
Oh yeah. Dude, I really like Edshot too, the Paper Ninja, but I'm really excited to see what all Gang Orca does too.
Oh yeah, man, that's gonna be a
great
good
freaking
one.
name, by the way.
That's just so cool. He's so fucking cool. The freaking fans are apparently losing their shit over him because he's doing some cool stuff. But I'm like, yeah, I mean, look at him. Of course he is. All right, villains.
Those are indie villains.
Those are indie villains. The wild villains. There's a villain factory. Okay, this is stuff we haven't gotten into.
Tons
yet.
of villains, yeah. There's
League
your League
of
of Villains.
Vanguard Action
there
Squad.
You go. Oh man, Dobby's awesome too.
I'd probably go with Toga just because she's like discount Harley Quinn and she's hilarious.
Okay.
I kind of love her. So that's my villain. Teacher was Aizawa.
You sure you don't want Moonfish, dude?
I definitely don't want Moonfish. Moonfish bums me out. Moonfish makes me very sad. Moonfish really bums me out.
We just took one of the Good Buddies questions and just kept asking the questions.
We're just going to keep going. This is going to go on for a while. Sorry,
Yeah.
Deal with it.
I think I got everybody, though.
All right.
So we're just waiting.
Who did I say? I said teacher. Pro hero. Yeah, we'll go with Best Genius.
Yeah, Best Genius is great.
She's so fucking cool. Dude's pants go so high. I just love the fact
to his head, dude.
He wears
like his nose.
He wears his pants up to his goddamn ears. I just love that so much. That's just hilarious to me. Oh,
Favorite
God.
student from another school?
From another school.
Yeah, you gotta answer 1A in another school.
I mean, it's for sure. It's not pronounced Cami. It's Kami. Is that it? Is that how they say it?
Yeah.
It's her.
Yeah.
She's just too fucking cool. Even though she's like
the naked lady.
It's not because she's a naked lady. It's because she's cool. I might go with Furball. I don't know what his deal is. Just weird. All right, Class 1A. This is a toughie. Man, Froppy's great.
Dude,
where did the name Froppy?
Dude? Keep on twinkling, baby.
Where did the name Froppy come from? Did they ever call her that? They never call her that.
That's her hero name, I think.
Oh, okay. Kaminari's really great because he wigs out. Kirishima's great. I do love Tokiyami. I do love Todoroki. He just looks so cool. For sure not Mineta. Mineta.
You got the Jiro shirt, dude.
Even Hagakure. You got cool. The dope down. I do have the deep dope shirt. Deep dope. Let me dope you down, baby.
Dope down, baby.
I'm going to go with Ida.
You're going to go with Ida?
I'm going to go with Ida.
Good choice, man. Good choice.
He's just too cool, man.
But, man, it's really hard to pick because I love all of them. Number one character of all of them, though, is it Aizawa still?
It's probably Aizawa.
Okay. All right.
He's just cool, man. Mostly because I imagine if I was in this world, if I had to be one of these people, I'd want to be the guy who, like, can turn off your power.
Your hero, baby.
That's what I'd want to be. Like, in a world where everybody's got superpowers and shit,
don't answer it. If it's a power from this one, do not answer it.
What?
Don't answer it.
No. I'm talking about Aizawa. I'm saying, like, in a world where, like, everybody's got crazy powers and shit, and, like, you have the ability to, one, turn it off so that now it's just who can fight or who can fight without powers better, and you're, like, a brilliant martial artist or whatever. Hell yeah. That's, like, perfect, right?
Yeah.
Just fuck them up.
But it's not the best powers. We're not answering that question.
We're not answering that question.
On this week.
Is that next week?
Yeah.
Is that another question that we got? We're going to talk about later?
Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Thank you for the question, good buddy, Christy. That was amazing, and she might have asked another question for next week.
You fucking dink. You fucking dink, Roger.
And we totally just took her one very simple question and made it very long.
Complicated. Because we couldn't just say who's your favorite. I do want to know who Christy's favorite is, though. I do want to know.
Please let us know. Christy, if you hear this episode, please let us know in the comments on the Waco Anime Friends, because that's where we always see you.
Yeah, I definitely want to know.
Or Good Buddies Universe, you're there. Let us know that favorite character. We want to know.
And then tell me who wins in a fight.
Yeah, but we also want your favorite character from another school and your favorite hero.
You don't have to do all that. You don't have to do all that. I just want to know who's your number one, because that's what you asked us.
All the
but
good
if
buddies.
You want to tell us all about it, hell yeah.
We do want to know.
What was our criteria there? It was favorite teacher, favorite pro hero, favorite villain, favorite from Hero 1A, and favorite who is from another school, or well, not necessarily another school. My whole thing there was like none of those other ones.
Yeah.
Like, but is a character.
And then favorite overall, I added that one in. So
yeah, so it would probably be.
So
one
if
of those
any of you good buddies would like to let us know in the comments or
man.
wherever you are, let us know. Go to the Good Buddies Universe on Facebook. Yeah, hit them plugs. Leave us a comment there. Let us know. I'm curious to know. We all love My Hero Academia.
And of course, you can.
Got an episode coming up.
We got anything else to talk about, or we shutting it down?
That's it, baby. We got all the questions out of the way.
All right. Love you guys. Great questions. Hit us up again for more questions and whatnot. Speaking of which, if you want to tell us who your favorite characters are from MHA or anything else, or you have a recommendation, or you want to ask us a question, remember we have the Good Buddies AnimePod at gmail.com.
Yep.
We also have a Facebook group, Good Buddies Universe. You can hit us up there, join it, get in. We also have the Twitter, TGB_AnimePod.
Right.
We also have the Tumblr, thegoodbuddies.tumblr.com. And there's also the Instagram, not as much, but it's Rapid Kick Media. We also have the YouTube, where you might be watching this right now or listening to this right now. That is Rapid Kick Media on YouTube. Yes, they all have different names. Deal with it. You'll be fine.
It's a whole brand. It's got all sorts of things.
You can also leave us comments anywhere you can, and odds are we'll find them. That's the iTunes. We're also on Podcast Addict. That's what I use. Podbean. You got your Stitcher. We're not on porn. What if we just started uploading these on Pornhub?
They remove your stuff if you don't upload porn or something that could be something that somebody could whack off to.
I definitely remember seeing a thing that somebody sent me a link, and I was like, "Why did you send me this link?" And I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And the name of it was on Pornhub, was something like "Revolutionary Twinks Have Some Historical Fun." I was like, what the fuck? And I clicked it. It was a bootleg. Someone recorded Hamilton, the Broadway musical.
Oh my god.
And I was like, whoa. I watched it up until he was like, Alexander Hamilton. And I was like, okay, I got the line. I'm out. I still haven't seen it. Of course I haven't. There's no official recordings yet. Anyway. But yeah, anywhere you can leave a comment, anywhere you can find us, we're on there. We are not on Spotify, of course, because, but I think that's it for the media, yeah?
Yep.
All right, do want to, of course, give a shout out to our good buddies, Married with Seamonsters, aka the Mary Janes, for the use of our opening theme song, Paperdoll. You can find that. Now, they are on Spotify, but that song and most of their other cool stuff is only available on marriedwithseamonsters.bandcamp.com.
Yeah, and you can download that stuff for free.
Yeah, man, super sweet. That's what I did. You can also check out our good buddy, Petty Theft. That's 2 P's at the beginning, 2 T's at the end. Petty Theft. You can find that on Twitter and on SoundCloud for the use of our closing theme.
Sweet Anime Dreams.
We still calling it that? You want to find a different one? When are we gonna find a different, man? You want to call something else?
Maybe the next series we'll find a different one.
We'll find a different. We'll switch the name up next time, next series. Just because we want to keep it moving.
Yeah.
Unless any of y'all got a bright idea, but yeah, check them out. Check out those musics, and I think that's about it. Who's checking us out this week?
I'll take us out this.
Take us out this week, buddy. So from all of us here at the Good Buddies Universe, I'm your good buddy Brandon,
and I'm your good buddy Roger.
Owie.